All right. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Hope everybody's well this morning. Enjoyed your weekend. All that. Stone Alone in the building, man. What's up, Stone Alone? Double zeros in the building. What's going on, man? DH, what's happening? Wayne Ellman, what's going on with you, sir? Adrian Vent, it's always good to see you, brother. Drop them squids on their head. Patrick Bell in the building. Good morning, sir. Cadillac 634, 16 Sammy. Derek James forgot the A side. They were the A team. Was that Cadillac 634? Dre H in the building. Black Fonz, what's going on? Bevo Boxing, what's going on, brother? Shout out to Cleveland. And my man, Stone Alone, said top of the morning and the chat. Yes, sir. Big time in that super chat, brother. My wife is sleeping in a little bit, so I can't bang this gong because she is a very, very hard-working woman. And she decided she was going to sleep in this morning. So let me give you applause. Thank you for hitting your boy Fanon up with that 10-piece. Thank you so much. Really does make a huge difference in the channel. Thank you. E Money in the building. What's going on? E Money 725, man. What's happening with you, man? That boy's a problem. Yes, sir. Didn't see you on the live stream yesterday, man. What's going on, Aisha? Stone Alone said, while we wait, smash that like button. Yes, sir. Smash that like button. We back. Rise Podcast in the building. What's going on, man? Just two boxes. Salute for 9, the OG. Respect to the chat. Yes, sir. Gervonta said they all going to sleep, huh? They all going to sleep. I like that. I like that out of man. I like Gervonta Davis, man. This lightweight division. Before I get into too much of this, man, that lightweight division is looking real nice right about now. That lightweight division is looking real nice right about now. Man, I'm excited, man. I got a whole bunch of fighters. Yeah, I like that. See, dog, I like Fanon, 28 videos. Hey, peace, Fanon. Oh, yeah, I decided I'm going to talk about what I want to. Yeah, 28. I'm about to make 30 more. Since y'all want to play, since you watch every video, since you want to watch and count every video, let me make some more for you to watch and count. Count them. Count them. Count them. You know what I mean? Y'all wild, bro. Y'all want me to go talk about Alexander Usyk's? You want me to talk about you want me to do videos about Alexander Usyk's childhood? Why don't you talk about Alexander Usyk and his teenage journey through Ukraine? Because I don't want to talk about it, bro. Oh, Bevo, Dallas Troy said, you've made your last 18 videos about Terence Crawford. Not true. However, bro, you're not going to guilt trip me into not. You're not gonna guilt trip me into not talking about what I want to talk about. I'm sorry if this is the biggest story in boxing. It's not my fault, bro. That dude should have fought him, and I'd be talking about something else. You know what I mean? Zay Rich in the bill said, "What's up, Fanon? I was telling people that Frank reminds me of a prime Gary Russell Jr., especially with the footwork. What you think? I think that's a good comparison." Man, you some trolls, bro. See you later, man. I don't even know what that was. But I'm going to clip you walking in the door, bro. Anyway, make him relevant for now. Hey, look, man, let me tell you how this thing works. I wake up in the morning and I say, I want to talk about boxing. Starborn, where were you when we talked about Frank Martin and them? Yesterday, where were you, Starborn? I'm gonna take what you say as a compliment. Where were you, Starborn, yesterday when we talked about Frank Martin all day? Where were you? Where were you when I talked about what Gervonta had to say about Frank Martin? Where were you? Where were you when I talked about Errol Spence Jr. and Keith Thurman? Where were you? Only time you show up is when somebody's talking about Terence Crawford and somebody's talking about Devin Haney, bro. So don't say, oh, this Terence Crawford again. Yeah, you're right. This Terence Crawford again. You are right. You are right, because I wanted you to show up. I woke up this morning, I said, you know what, man? I want to talk to Terry. I want to talk to Star 007 today. How can I ensure that Star 007 will come here, man? Oh, let me talk about Terence Crawford. So, yeah. Nah, bro, I didn't see none of them comments on you, man. Where were you yesterday in the live stream? Anyway, man, you're not going to guilt trip me up off of Terence Crawford's neck. Let me just tell you that for sure. You're not going to guilt trip me off Terence Crawford's neck. Not going to happen. No way, no shape, no how, brother. Not going to happen. Starborn 007, you know you don't show up unless we talk about Bud. You know it. Or the lightweight who shall remain nameless. Because like I said, please stop hating. You go away. I'm clipping you bums right off I'm clipping you bums as soon as you hit the deck. No, I have not begun to hate. I have not even started hating. Haven't hated. I got a smile on my face. But anyway, since y'all don't like it, let me go back to what I was talking about, which was not Terence Crawford yet. But seeing as you guys are all biting at the bit to get to him, I wasn't even talking about him yet. Okay? I'm trying to talk about the lightweight division, and you guys are all got your panties all up your crack. So I can't get to the subject matter that I want to get to. Man, the lightweight division is really, really looking good. A lot of people with O's will be exposed. Hey, man, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, Vasily Lomachenko. I know that they're going to go ahead and make that nice little deal so they can fight Frank Martin. Devin Haney, unfortunately, is not in the conversation for Frank Martin because his fans have already given him the excuse that he's not really a lightweight, which I think is really, really funny, seeing as he's the undisputed lightweight champion. He is the only undisputed lightweight champion I've ever heard that have fans already saying he can't fight somebody because he's not in the weight class. Errol cannot fight Terence Crawford because Errol Spence Jr. is not in the welterweight division. But hold on, he has 3 belts. How do you mean? Well, he said it's hard for him to make weight, so he's not going to be there to fight Gervonta. Terence Crawford has no problem making the weight. You know what I'm saying? It's silly, man. You got some really wild stuff, man, going on out here, man. But yeah, let me wait for some more people to get into the chat, bro. Because, man, I listened to some really good conversations yesterday. And I feel so unalone now. I feel so unalone. First of all, I have to say something. DH says, Rise podcast. Man, where's John Bowie, man? I didn't see John Bowie yesterday, brother. Much love to you, John Bowie. I hope you're well, bro. Do you think Monster moves up to fight Fulton Jr.? Yeah, he probably will move up. He'll probably try to get Fulton to go over there to Japan. He'll probably try to get him to go over there to Japan, which would be a big mistake from Fulton Jr. Fulton Jr. needs to try to find a way to have that fight in the United States. If he can at all do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do think he will. They forget Frank Martin been calling out Devin since 2018. Look, man, Devin is not a lightweight, despite the fact that he is the undisputed lightweight champion. So that fight can't happen. Now, realistically, though, he is going to go to 140, though. I do know that to be true. I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm just saying it's really not an excuse you can use until he's not at the weight class anymore. You can't be in the weight class, but not in the weight class at the same time. You really gotta pick it. It's the Fanon, don't do that. We know after Loma, Devin is going to 140. We don't know that. He said he could fight Tank. We know that. I don't know that. I know when it comes to Shakur Stevenson, he's going to 140. But when it comes to Gervonta, he's at 135. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong about that. I think at 135, he can fight Gervonta. But at 135, he cannot fight Shakur. And he's at 135 now. And he was 135 in October. He could be 135 in March, but he can't be 135 in May. I just think it's difficult for him to make weight, but he can make weight if he wants to. That's what I honestly believe. I think that I think that he can make the weight if he wants to make the weight. But I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me that he can't make 135 for Gervonta, because he can make it for Gervonta. Fahim said, Fanan, 135 makes me feel like a window, like I'm window shopping. I'm always, and I always hate window shopping. Yeah, I hate window shopping too. But don't worry. I think it's gonna start mixing up as soon as Devin leaves the division. I think that'll happen because you're gonna break those belts up. Not that, he wouldn't, fight Frank Martin, though he probably won't fight Frank Martin. Frank Martin should fight Pitbull, Rayo, Roley, or Colbert. He needs a fight or two before playing. Nah, he can take. I don't believe that at all. He can take that top level right now. I don't believe that at all. He can take that fight. He can take that right now. Now, he may wind up fighting those guys because those are the fights that are available for him. But no, he can go with those guys right now. He's 27 years old, going on 28 years old. He beat Michel Rivera, who's a top 10 in all those divisions. If Pitbull, Rayo why would I even waste my time wanting to see him fight Rayo? Is that you talking about that guy Valenzuela, the dude that got knocked out? Well, I want to see him fight Rayo. Why do I care about Chris Colbert's not even at the weight class yet? Why would I care about him fighting Chris Colbert, who's not even at the weight class yet? And Roley, I guess it would be entertaining to see Roley get beat up. That's entertaining. But I don't think he has anything. I don't think he has anything to prove against those guys, at all. Oh, hey, I'm sorry, Starborn 007. Are you mad that I'm not talking about Ty? I don't hear you commenting now that I'm not talking about Terence. Hey, Hunter Young said, for now, why is Shakur telling Spence to send him the contract? He didn't say send him the contract. He didn't say send the contract, Hunter Young. Let me go to his Twitter page. How did that happen? Hold on. I promise you, he says, I promise you I'll fight dude in a heartbeat. Got nothing but respect. I'm like that. I promise y'all. The tweet before that was, dang chill, he just won. That man did not say tell Errol Spence Jr. to send the contract. That's not on that page. So I don't he said he would fight him. That he did not say send him the contract, bro. That's sensationalizing it. Too bad Haney moving up soon, or he would be on Haney's hit list too. Yeah, sure he would. Then why is Gervonta Davis on this hit list? Can we wait till your guy moves up before we say he moves up? But I understand what you're saying, though. Fanan Tank said they all fooled. Yeah, exactly. They all talking about him. Who you got, Keyshawn or Martin? Respect Fanan. I got Martin over Keyshawn Davis. I got Frank Martin over Keyshawn Davis. But anyway, man, let's get on the real work here, bro. All right. I was out there having a good time listening to people, and my apologies to you guys on Saturday, because I honestly, man, I was so into what I was talking about that I forgot to put a link in there at all. Errol confirmed what? That Buzz a duck? Look, man, I was listening to this. I didn't listen. I just saw it. That you got a whole bunch of people out here telling Frank Martin what? Confirmed what? that Errol Spence Jr. is now ducking Terence Crawford again. Out of the blue, Errol Spence Jr. is ducking Terence Crawford again. Did I not tell you that people were going to be riding that the second that they could do that? Now, because he says now Errol Spence Jr. is ducking Terence Crawford again. You cannot make this stuff up. Good to see Big Fish in good spirits. Always good to see everybody in good spirits. I need to understand how it is that Errol Spence Jr. is once again ducking Terence Crawford. Because he says what? Because his trainer said he's not interested in the fight. Because it was like being at Christmas and somebody telling you that it's Christmas and there's no presents under the tree. So I do not believe that you're going to do that. I just don't believe it. Okay, shout out to you, Fanon, always consistent, man. Man, these Errol detractors are crazy, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, these Errol detractors are desperate. You guys are absolutely, positively desperate is what it is. You're desperate. There's never, like I said, there's never been a scenario where you literally can rip a dude for like 4 straight hours. It's so bad that Terence Crawford fans are literally just asking you to please stop talking about him. Fanon, who is your favorite lightweight ever? I don't have a favorite lightweight ever. Can I tell you that I have one? Cam Williams. Favorite lightweight ever? Probably Shane Mosley. If I had to pick one, Shane Mosley. Didn't see enough of Roberto Duran when I was a kid. My favorite one is probably Shane Mosley at lightweight. He was absolutely crazy. Never heard Bud talk so much since he ducked Errol. That should tell you something right there. Let me tell you flat out, bro. Terence Crawford is either the biggest duck or the worst businessman ever. You pick one or the other. You got guys out here lying like rugs. You got guys out here lying like rugs, like for no reason. Like out here fibbing for no reason. And what Errol Spence Jr. said is like, look, man, like, what about transparency? Somebody else says something about what about the transparency? I mean, dude, that right there. Bud Spence and I don't care what Bud likes. See, I'm telling you, Starborn, I could care less that they like each other. So what? I don't care that Errol and Jermell Charlo like each other. What do I care for? I mean, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman liked each other. They really did. At certain points in time, Ali and Frazier liked each other. So what? Honestly, before Tyson Fury just went out there and cheated, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder liked each other. They may sometime later in like decades from now like each other again. What difference does that make that they like each other? It makes no difference. So it makes no difference to me whatsoever that they like each other. I feel Tank is the biggest duck, but Tank has not ducked anybody. Who has Tank ducked, E-Money? Let me know who Tank ducked. I'm still waiting to hear who Tank ducked. What sense does that make? Who did he duck? You guys just call you just, that's what I'm saying. You guys throw around that word duck so bad that if I actually consider what you say ducking, Terence Crawford is the biggest duck in the history of boxing. If what you consider to be a duck is a duck, God dog, Terence Crawford's a duck. You don't get any bigger, you do not get any bigger a duck than that. Do you know if anybody is a bigger duck? If you claim that somebody's saying your name and you don't fight them means you ducked them? They believe that, man, Devin Haney don't even believe Tank ducked him. They just say it. They just say it. Nobody believes that nonsense. Who did he duck? When did he have a fight for Undisputed and he said no? So he can go fight, the number 6 rated guy in the WBO who's been knocked out by a guy that he knocked out. When? No, Terence Crawford is not. No, Terence has the biggest duck in the history of boxing, bro. No. I'm not even going to go. Terence Crawford has the biggest duck. Canelo is ducked more often. Canelo drew a racial line and ducks more often. That's the difference between the two of them. One just ducks more often, bro. That's it. One ducks and the other ducks more often. That one has a gigantic duck and the other one has a multitude of ducks. So if you want to say who is the more who is a pathological duck, Canelo is a pathological duck. Terence Crawford has the greatest duck of all time, bro. Listening to these biased YouTubers out there, look, man, I'm listening to clout chasing. I listen to a couple clout chasing YouTube channels. I don't listen to tell you the truth, because I don't really want to I don't want to hear them. But I'll read I can't help but read some of the titles. You know what I mean? They come up, you know how this works, man. Like whenever your channel's doing well, or people think your channel's doing well, let me put it that way. When they think your channel's doing well because they really don't know what they're looking at or know what they're thinking. I mean, they don't know what they're looking at. All of a sudden, your name starts popping up in a bunch of little raggedy dudes, and I don't mean little raggedy dudes as if your channel is little and makes that raggedy, because it doesn't. You can have 1,000 subscribers, 500 subscribers. Brother, I will take you as seriously as somebody with 100, somebody with 150. Because if you got the good content and you got the, you listening, no, I'm not listening. What the fuck you talking about, Tony T? No, I'm not listening. I'll read a title. No, I do not listen. There's no shame in admitting what. It is a shame. If I did it, that's not even good for my health, bro. I'm not going to listen to them clowns. You're tripping. I will see. If I look up my own channel, because I want to see how it's going in the search function, because that's what I want to see. I'll put my name in, and I will see what comes up when I have my name, when I put my channel's name there, because I want to see that where my videos are in the search function. And if you put my name in your video, I will see it. Other than that, I'm not going around. I would have to be subscribed to these people to see that crap. Are you serious? I got no time to sit there and listen to somebody badmouth me for what? So no, I do not listen. I will see titles every once in a while. And also, if you steal my video, I will also see that in my copyright feed. So I know to file a copyright violation on you. Most of the times that I see these videos about me, it's in my copyright feed. So I can see, oh, okay, let me check my copyright feed. Let me see who's stealing from me. So I can slap them with a copyright violation. And if they lie on me, so I can slap them with defamation of character. Because you better believe I will sue your ass for defamation of character if you're out here lying on me. Trust me, I got a little fund set to the side where if you do it, I have no problem taking your channel from you. And if you think contesting my copyright claim is going to work with you, no problem. Copyright lawyer on deck. They will be I'm just gonna appeal it. Okay. If you lied on me, I'm gonna hit you with defamation of character too. I'm gonna hit you with libel. I'm gonna hit you with libel and slander because it's spoken and it's written. Believe it. So anyway, no, I do not watch you clowns videos ever. I see it because you're clout chasing me. You put my picture up and you put my name up and you steal large bits of my material so you can talk to other people about it that aren't interested in you unless you're talking about me. Duh. So no, Tony T, I do not. Okay? Hey, when was the last time when somebody smoked David's name? I don't know, man. Daily, really. Starborn, where did that 25 mil come from? That 25 million doesn't exist. The 25 million never came anywhere because it's not real. Fanon the barrister, I'm just telling you, since you want to know, Since you want to know why I saw that, Tony T, because I've got to regularly slap people with copyright claims because they steal my material, because they don't have an original thought in their brain. So what they want to do is they want to listen to what I have to say, and then they want to argue with it on their channel. So somebody will go from your channel to their channel because they put my name in the title, and the search function will pull it up if somebody's looking for me. Okay, because they're bums with not a lick of creativity to them. Funny thing is, for them to make a video about you, they have to be watching, so they're in the chat. Yeah, exactly. They're right here. I'm talking. I know they're here. Dog, seriously, man. When I scratch, excuse me, I woke up this morning. I had to scratch. Man, if I scratch too low, I see them. Man, trust me. Trust me. No, it's not all promotion at the end of the day. Hell you talking about, bro? Don't get blocked. I've been reading you, Sparks, bro. You quick about to get kicked out. It's not all promotion, okay? I'm not promoting anything. I'm here talking boxing. I'm not like, I don't know what y'all doing. I'm talking boxing. Me. About whatever it is that I want to talk about and whatever it is that my subscribers want to talk about. That's what I'm doing. I don't care about, oh yeah, all everything bad you say about me is really good. No, it is not. It's bad. No, it is not. It's bad. You call me this, that, you call people this, that, and the other thing is bad. I'm not into this Floyd Mayweather Jr. stuff. Well, oh yeah, if you say something, no, it's not. How about you just keep my name out your mouth? Oh, I know why. Because don't nobody want to watch you. That's why. Because nobody wants to watch you. How about you just talk boxing and get some talent? I guess some talent. I don't know what it is. Anyway, back off of that stuff for a second. And on to some of the small channels that I do listen to. Now, I will tell you this. If there is a channel, like I said, that is small, but they are very logical and they are intelligent and they present their argument like they got some goddamn sense, I'll listen to them all day. I'll subscribe to them. Every time they come up, I won't be in their chat saying nothing. I'm not going to go in their chat and comment or nothing, but I will because I like boxing talk. I like to hear you talk. I'm in BFTBs. I listen to BFTB every day and disagree with him about Devin Haney, but I will listen to him every day. I will pub his channel. I didn't feature his channel, but I'll do that because I actually want you to know about him. I want you to know about BFTB because BFTB is a legitimately intelligent guy that is not out here marketing people for no good reason. He got the mouth of a soldier because he's a soldier. So I respect that. I respect that. And I will definitely share the word about his channel because it's a legitimate place to go for you to hear really good boxing talk. And yeah, absolutely, Rico. Now, I'm not going to say particular names right now because they're in the middle of frying up people. And I don't want to be pulled into the fry up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do that. However, you get my point. Cam Williams, I hear you say, Errol say Haney and Martin going to be a snooze fest. You hear Errol say Haney and Martin are going to be a snooze fest. He would rather make Martin versus Pitbull. No, I didn't hear that, man. I didn't hear that. It would be a snooze fest though. Like it is kind of a snooze fest. Because it's going to be so technical. It probably would be. You know, it probably would be. It'd be a difficult fight though, Cam Williams. It'll definitely be a difficult. But anyway, back on this sports guy. What's up, Fanon? He said, let's get Haney, Frank Martin. Dog, that's just not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. It's not going to say. He said Martin fights better when people are engaging. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure he does. It's like so does Devin's going to fight better when people are engaging. But I mean, that's just a very honest dude, man. I mean, yeah, Haney's not. I'm not going to call it a snooze fest because I'm interested in Haney's fights. You know, for now, if David Morrell fights Canelo, who you got? I got Morrell. I got Morrell. I don't know. I can't say that for sure. I got to see more of Morrell. I mean, Canelo, I'm not going to throw him under the bus that quick. Canelo can really fight. But he better fight Morrell in the next year. If he fights him in more than the next year, Morrell, I got Morrell pretty much is, and that man is very, very big trouble. Very, 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 very big trouble. Starborn said Haney's on a different level. I don't think he is. I don't think Devin Haney's on a different level than who? I don't think he is. I think they're about the same level of fighter. He may be a better fighter, but they're about the same level of fighter. Just like Errol and Terence, they're on the same level. They're the same level of fighter. One may be better than the other, but they're the same level of fighter. You know what I mean? Lubin versus Castano. Castano. Lubin's fighting Castano. I got Castano. Castano's a very, very good fighter, bro. Very, very hard to hit. Castano. I got Brian Castano. Will we get Haney to fight any top competition before leaving? Yeah. You're going to get him to fight Lomachenko. Absolutely. And then he's going to go to 140. And after that, you're not going to see anything. It's going to be very hard to sell. Honestly, Devin need to try to find a way to continue to make that weight, bro. Because up there at 140, he's leaving a money division for a secondary division. And that division does not really have any big names at this point in time. So, and he's got very, very good chance of losing. And I mean a very good chance. Not running the gauntlet with those dudes. I don't think. But I could be wrong. Fanon, I got Morrell now. Canelo can't move with that knee. Yeah, now that's a trouble, bro. Okay, Cam Williams, thank you, brother. All right, cool. I got that, man. I appreciate you for that. Thank you. Hey, man, much love to everybody in the Super Chat and everybody in the Cash App. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Really does mean a lot, bro. I think we're in the holiday spirit right about now, though. But look, man, back onto this. So, and I do like that y'all. You guys are kind of forcing me to change subjects a little bit. I want to see Haney versus Gary Antoine at 140. Yeah. Honestly, man, I want Regis. I'm more into the Regis. I want to see him fight Prograde. Fernando, I told you about Canelo's bad knees 2 years ago. Yeah, you did, Boxing Truth. Yeah, I was familiar with it, but yeah, absolutely. Ray Zay Rich, it's going to be Shakur, bro. That's going to be very tough. I think Shakur, the only guy that's going to beat Shakur in that weight division, in my opinion, is Gervonta. And Gervonta's got to catch him. Shakur Stevenson is really like that, man. Very, very, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat. Not a big power puncher. So if he really can't keep, Gervonta off of him and Gervonta really can get at him, Gervonta can knock him to next week. So, but then again, I've never seen his chin tested. It's going to be tough to really land a clean shot on Shakur. I have 12-year-olds that weigh 140 in Pee Wee football. These are grown men. Yeah, they little guys for sure. Man, I don't know what you're talking about, Sparks. You just saying anything, huh? Anyway, though, I don't want to talk about that, man. Like I said, man, I'm not big into that whole conversation. Hey, Ramses Piper in the building. Much love to Ramses Piper. I love that name, bro. Frank Martin and Shakur. Much love in that. Yeah, that. I mean, that could take place. Great fight. I think he's on the level of both of those guys. I think he's on the level with both of those guys. If Michelle Rivera goes to 140, good for Michelle Rivera. He's a big dude. Fanon, like Tank said, if you don't have the power, how am I going to keep me off you? Yeah, pretty much. And then if you do have the power, Tank has the ability. Oh my God, man. You guys just say Tank lacks head movement? You serious? What are you watching? Tank lacks Carter Brown. Tank lacks head movement? Are you serious? Okay. 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 All right. Yeah. No is the answer to that one. But anyway, Tank about exactly. I'm like, Shakur is too technical for Tank. I mean, I don't even know what that means, bro. What do I value more, power or skill? If power lands, power. If power doesn't land, skill. Let me tell you what I favor. The guy that hits the other guy more or knocks him out. I'm not going to favor either one. I'm favoring the result. Some people have a lot of skills, no results. For whatever reason. A lot of skills, no rewards. No, I favor whatever works for that person. If you're fighting Deontay Wilder, do I favor skill or power? What do you think, Deontay? What does Deontay Wilder have? Whatever you call what Deontay Wilder is, I favor that. Do I favor skill or power? What does Tank have? Whatever Tank has, I favor that. But I just don't understand why you don't think he's skilled. But whatever. I favor the dude who get hit get hit. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, but I favor the dude who hit. Yeah. Whoever lands the punches is who I favor. You know what I mean? Tank has a total package, dude. He definitely has a total package. He definitely has a total package to boot. Like, if all he could do was come forward and bang, you wouldn't have seen him fight Isaac Cruz like that or Jose Pedraza. But whatever, man. People do what people want to do, man. People do what people want to do. You guys, I think you start your analysis with, who do I like more? Oh, I like Devin more. So what is more important is what Devin has. Oh, I like Tank more. What I think is more important is what Tank has. I like Terence Crawford more. So I favor switch hitters. I like Errol Spence. So I favor aggression and whatever. A lot of y'all do that stuff. I'm telling you, man, I see all these guys as excellent fighters. I'll pick who I think is going to win, but no joke. I think you really seriously underestimate some of these guys. And Frank Martin, I've been watching boxing a long time, man. I'm telling you, that guy can fight. I mean, that dude is not just going in there blindly looking for shots. He's not going in there blindly. He's got excellent footwork. He's a southpaw. He's got a lot of power. He goes to the body. He's got enough power to, if he clips you, to hurt you. I mean, dog, I do not necessarily see Devin Haney being significantly better than that guy. I don't see it. Now, I will tell you this: if Frank Martin is able to continue to get knockouts, if he's able to get knockouts, hey man, the dude may wind up being more popular than Devin, because Devin is missing the knockouts. But anyway, y'all keep talking about it. You keep treating Devin as like he's some bum. Like, I mean, they keep treating everybody compared to the fighter you like these guys are bums. Terence Crawford ain't no bum. Terence Crawford is a legitimately very, very, very good fighter. However, I will say he ducked Terence Crawford. I mean, ducked Errol Spence. And that has to make you wonder what's going on in his head. This man is 35 years old. He's not going to fight Errol till he's at least 36. Right? And if you look at what happened and you're honest about what happened, you know full well why that fight didn't happen. That fight didn't happen because Terence Crawford didn't want that fight to happen for whatever reason he had. It's not Errol Spence Jr. ain't out ducking him. Like, oh, he says, God dog, man, I got to fight this other guy. Oh, man, he's ducking because he ain't fighting Errol. You see, he ain't fighting Terence Crawford next. He's not fighting Terence Crawford next because he got a mandatory ordered on him to boot. And he said he's going to circle the block, which means I'm about to fight somebody else and then I'm going to come back. But you think he's just going to stand still and give you the same offer that you got last time? There's ramifications to your actions. There's ramifications to your actions. Errol's going to have a hard time selling that fight to the PBC. If you thought he had a hard time now, before, it just got a lot harder, didn't it? To even make it. Because you got Derek, because you do have his trainer saying, man, I'm not interested. Errol didn't say he wasn't interested. Derek said, I'm not interested. He said, man, hey, man, why? Because, dude, you sitting there excited. You're preparing for it. He was preparing for the fight, was watching fights, breaking fight films down, studying Terence Crawford because he thought the fight was going to get done. And then at the end of the day, Terence Crawford just walks off. Doesn't even tell him he's not going to fight him. Just walks off. Scant Rants in the building. You said that block going to be empty as hell. He said, do you think, it's going to be gone. Do you think Bud is actually trying to age Spence out since pressure fighters' primes are shorter? No, I don't. I don't. And nor do I believe that pressure fighters' primes are shorter. I don't believe either one of that. I don't even believe that's true. Because Roberto Duran was a pressure fighter. His prime was very long. Bernard Hopkins is a pressure fighter. Bernard Hopkins' career was very long. Andre Ward had some injuries, but he was a pressure fighter. And his career, it's not like he got out of his prime quickly. Athletic fighters' primes are shorter. It's the athletic guy, the guy that relies primarily on their athleticism, who has a shorter career than the guys that are pressure fighters, I'm not saying you taking a bunch of shots. I'm not saying you taking a bunch of shots and getting hit and doing all of that. Anybody getting hit a lot is going to have a shorter career. But if you're somebody that does not really get hit that much, like Errol, does not really get hit that much, unless you're talking about by other cars or concrete, other than that, he's not getting hit. He's not getting hit a lot. He's not taking a lot. He's not taking a lot of punishment. Considering his weight, Tank has a pound for pound skill set. Considering anything, he's pound for pound. Mega Million said, Fanan, I owe you an apology. Stop watching your channel for a while because of how hard you went at Bud. When you explained last night your reasons, it made it perfect sense. He could have been honest. That's it. That's all he had to do. Mega Millions, I'm not out here. Much love, Melvin Jones, for that super chat, bro. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super chat and the Cash App. It's how the channel, it's how I'm able to do this every day. Thank you, brothers. Look, man, I am not lying to you. I've lost a lot of friends, not friends. I won't consider any of these dudes friends, except for maybe one guy. I got maybe one guy that I would say, as far as like YouTube stuff, that I would consider a friend. However, people are like I am going to tell you what I think. And I'm going to try my absolute best to think about it and share with you my honest opinion. And I will argue with myself. I will go through it. I go through it with myself. And I say, okay, well, God dog, but if somebody is to blame, that person is to blame. If somebody is responsible, that person is responsible. Usually when people are aggressively attacking people and somebody else is saying nothing, but the other person is attacking, the person that is attacking usually has a lot of things that you're going to be able to poke holes in, right? If Gary Russell Jr. is just sitting there minding his business and Devin Haney calls him out and starts doing all this stuff, and all Gary Russell Jr. really doing is caught up in the middle of it, and you look at it, you're like, okay, well, really, who started this? Why are you you're offended? What are you talking about? Why are you offended, Rod? The friends? Nah, bro. Look, man, I respect you, Rise Podcast. Don't get me offended. I respect you. But me and you ain't kicking it like having drinks and throwing shots back or whatever we do. that's like a professional respect. However, if I go out there to Baltimore and we kick it, that could change. But I'm just saying, like, dude, I'm gonna keep it real about Tank. I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna tell you something about Tank just like, okay, I'm Team Tank. Like I am gonna ride with Tank till the wheels fall off. Nah, bro, it's not like that. You know what I mean? Because really, there's no need for that. Because Tank is honest. Like Leonard Ellerbe, bro, trust me, I was looking for things to say about Leonard Ellerbe. I couldn't find anything on Leonard Ellerbe, and I mean it. Much love in this super chat. He said it's time to start giving Derrick James credit for his teaching style, his guys fight difference. I also like the way EJ is moving in the media. Yeah, no doubt, man. Errol Spence Jr. is honest. Errol Spence Jr. is honest, even though I don't believe him about that fire stick. I know, Rise Podcast. I know you were. Look, man. I got you, Rise. I got you, Rise, for sure. Look. Man, I lost my train of thought that quick, bro. Yeah, they're honest. I don't believe him. I think he got that fire stick. I ain't gonna lie. I listened to what Terence Crawford said about that fire stick, and I listened to how Errol said, man, you don't know what I got in my house. You ain't never been in my house. I ain't got no fire stick. Dog, that smirk on his face, Negro, you got a fire stick. Negro, you got a fire stick. I ain't gonna lie, that was my first thought. I was like, you got a fire stick, bro. You got a fire stick. So I'm gonna look at that like, hey, what's going on, TY? You know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna be agreeing with people for anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Pisces. I'm honest. Hey, said, who's your favorite fighters that you feel went underappreciated throughout their career? Paulie. Oh, you're probably looking for Paulie. You're probably looking for Paulie Spadafora. Are you looking for Paul Spadafora? I saw that out there. Yeah, Paulie Spadafora. Definitely underappreciated. The most underappreciated fighter is my guy, the Drunken Master, Emmanuel Augustus. Other underappreciated fighters, Kasim the Dream Uma. Who else is underappreciated in their career? Deontay Wilder. Who else is underappreciated in their career? Keith Thurman right about now. Very underappreciated Keith Thurman. Who else is underappreciated? Aaron Pryor, underappreciated. Who else is underappreciated? I could go on and on, man. I could go on and on. Jermaine Taylor, underappreciated. Had a rough go because he got that can dented by Jermell Charlo, massively underappreciated. Gervonta Davis, underappreciated. Gervonta Davis is underappreciated. For sure. Gervonta Davis is underappreciated. Eris Landy Lara, very underappreciated. Guillermo Rigondeaux, monstrously underappreciated. Winky Wright, underappreciated. Regis Prograis, underappreciated. Go on and on with those dudes, man. A lot of great fighters underappreciated. Miguel Cotto, overrated. Sorry, Dragon Fang, got to disagree with you on that one. Miguel Cotto is one of the more overrated fighters, in my opinion. I've always thought Miguel Cotto was overrated. Sorry. I know there's going to be people who disagree with me. Always thought Miguel Cotto was overrated. Overrated his entire career. I just do not think he's that good. I know Fahim Sator is going to say BS, but I'm sorry. I think Miguel Cotto is overrated. I think he's overrated. Very overrated fighter. Like a very good fighter, but the way y'all talked about Cotto, Miguel Cotto ain't no beast. Miguel Cotto is a very, very good fighter, bro. Errol Spence Jr. would annihilate him. I think that Miguel Cotto is closer to a Keith Thurman. Tim Bradley, Juan Manuel Marquez, big time underrated. Juan Manuel Marquez, underappreciated. Eric El Terrible Morales, underappreciated. No, Gennady Golovkin, massively overrated. Gennady Golovkin is massively overrated. He ain't never beat anybody good. Never. His best fight, he ain't never beat anybody other than Daniel Jacobs. That's it. Tito Trinidad is right where Tito Trinidad belongs. Very appreciated, not overrated, not underrated. You know, but Mikel Cotto, they talk about him like he's like I ain't buying it, bro. Andre Ward, underestimated, bro. Said, nah, they heavily appreciate Marquez. Hey, man, to me, he's better than Manny Pacquiao. Juan Manuel Marquez is a better fighter than Manny Pacquiao. Jose Luis Castillo, underappreciated. Jose Luis Castillo, really, really good fighter, underappreciated. Hey, Herbert Johnson said, what's up, Fanon? Appreciate that shout out on the video you did. Salute to John Boy. All my guys, sorry for being MIA. Have a lot to deal with. 100. Sorry, brother, that you got that stuff to deal with, bro. Sorry that you got that stuff going on, man. Much love in that super chat, brother. James Toney's in the Hall of Fame. He's where he's supposed to be. Herbert Johnson said, I'll go back and watch it. I do go back and watch the videos and hit the like. Thank you, Herbert Johnson. Once again, much love in that super chat, bro. Javier Valencia said, what is my opinion of Canelo? Overrated and a gigantic duck. He's a very good fighter. At one point, he was one of the best fighters in boxing, but I think he draws a color line. And honestly, man, it's his last several years have just been reprehensible. There's no way that you can go that long without fighting any black or Latino fighters at 160, 168 pounds. Tim Austin, very underrated. Definitely Tim Austin, very underrated. And so is Corey Spinks. Tim Austin and Corey Spinks. Yeah, bro. I mean, that's what I think about him. But look, man, we going off into a lot of other stuff, bro. Prince Naseem is completely overrated. He's trash. Prince Naseem is absolutely positively trash. Overrated. Vitaly Klitschko, underrated. Vitaly Klitschko, unappreciated heavyweight. Because he was fighting at the same time as his brother Vladimir, who he was better than. Vitaly Klitschko, underrated, great heavyweight. Larry Holmes, without a doubt, with most people, massively underrated. That great a fighter. As good as you hear that Larry Holmes is, he's that much underrated. No doubt, to me. I'm just trying to tell you, Prince Naseem Hamed, I knew he was going to lose. Vitaly, not Vladimir, Vitaly. But Vitaly Klitschko is massively underrated. Zach Rich, you got a problem. Something wrong with you. Lennox Lewis is like that, though. Demetrius Andrade will beat Canelo Alvarez. I have Demetrius Andrade beating Canelo Alvarez. That is first of all, Canelo Alvarez dang near admitted it when he said he gets all upset like that and says, you garbage, you trash, you're a horrible fighter. Yeah, he's a horrible fighter, but what? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a horrible fighter, but you're okay fighting Caleb Plant. Demetrius Andrade is a much better fighter than Caleb Plant. Joe Calzaghe is a good fighter. I don't have no problem with Joe Calzaghe. Joe Calzaghe got them hands. Joe Calzaghe may be a little underrated. Joe Calzaghe got them hands. Joe Calzaghe can fight. Joe Calzaghe can fight. No doubt. James DeGale. I love James DeGale as a fighter. That's one of my favorite fighters, James DeGale. However, I know that he's not that great a fighter, but if you ask, like, for me, love James DeGale, bro. Love James DeGale. Demetrius Hufanon, Andrade. I ain't saying Andrade. I'm saying Andrade. I'm saying Andrade. Spence said that about Larry Holmes being underrated too. He's clearly underrated. Great fighter. But let's get back to the subject matter at hand, bro. Jeff Campbell said, Bud versus which tomato can next? He's run out of tomato cans, bro. He's run out of tomato cans. If dude, he just has no, I mean, there's nothing. Doug, what is he? Oh my goodness. Like, seriously, man. Seriously. What's he gonna do? He's gonna have to sit and wait for Errol. If he does not want that fight, bro, there is nowhere else for Terence Crawford to go that is going to be respected at all. It's going to be respected at all. And I have a very, very hard time believing that BLK Prime is going to invest. I mean, I don't think they invested that money. I ain't gonna lie, bro. There's just so many stories being told for no good reason. Man, it's like Mike Coppinger on steroids, man. Like, dude, there is a line of boxing media that just, dog, it's just so, it's so apparent that you are working with them. You know what I mean? Like, you are working with them and trying to concoct storylines that are going to make these people look good. And they're not going to make them look good because it's all going to fall apart. And then you're going to be left coming to guys like me and asking me to please stop talking about it. So you got a bunch of people in the comment section trying to get me to talk about historical boxing for 25 minutes. Like I'm not going to come back to it. You know what it is? Hey, man, I'm worried about my man, though. I ain't seen John Boy in a minute, man. It's been 2 days, though. It's only been 2 days. I hope you well, bro. I'll call him, though. T.Y. said, Fanon, hopefully Boo-Boo can get his hands on them guys now that he's doing business with Showtime. 2023 should be lit. Yeah, it's going to be tough to get around him, man. Meldrick Taylor, I'm not as down on Meldrick Taylor's career, bro. Hey, 00 said they ain't slick for nine. Nah, y'all ain't slick. Y'all ain't slick. You know what I mean? But it's fun, though. I can't lie. It is fun, though. But, dude, on the real, that man lost. I tried to calculate how much money that dude lost. I think that dude lost $20 million in opportunity cost. He's probably lost. No. He probably lost somewhere close to $40 million in opportunity cost. Is anybody familiar? Are you guys familiar? Yeah, at 160. Wow, he's going up to 160. Yeah, he's probably lost $40 million in opportunity cost. Like 40 million. Just think about it. He made what? Let's be honest. Okay? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. All right? And deal with things that make sense. Yeah, Andrade's with Showtime. I don't know if he signed with the PBC or not, but he got a deal with Showtime. He's fighting on Showtime. He's on the same card. He's on Gervonta Davis's card. First of all, let's be honest about this 10 million stuff. No. Okay? No. I don't believe it. Okay? I don't believe it. And the reason I do not believe it is because you're literally trying to get me to believe that people are willing to throw away $7 million. I have a hard time believing that. So since I have a hard time believing that anybody in their right mind is going to throw $7 million into a trash can, and honestly, the reports were that it was $10 million for Terence, and it was $6 million, and it was $6 million for David Avanesian. $6 million. $10 million for him, $6 million for David Avanesian. Okay? So I don't believe that. I'm just going to tell you, and I'll tell you why I don't believe it. Because I'm going to think that people are legitimately intelligent business people and that they're in business to make a profit. Yes, they may decide to lose some money. Some things you can do knowing you're going to lose money, like throwing a Christmas party for your employees. I know that you're going to lose money. You're not going to charge people to come into your Christmas party. Okay? Marketing and doing things like community relations. Yes, you'll invest some money. You're willing to lose some money on that. But overall, your business has got to remain profitable. Okay? What? Oh, Terry Snood is not honest, man. Don't believe Terry. Terry does not being serious. Okay? So let's walk through this. You do 5,000 pay-per-views. I'm sorry, brother. Nobody's saying the 5,000 is not true. Yeah, 16 that was the original number that came out, 16 million. Then, and I'm trying to tell you, I do not mean this with any disrespect whatsoever. I really do not. Then the marketing, somebody that is people that are doing PR for BLK Prime said something that public relations people believe. They will exaggerate. So if it's $10 million, why not say 12? Okay, not blasting anybody, not trying to talk bad about anybody. I'm just saying, if your marketing department says that, if your PR department says, your PR person says that, if you're going to say 10, if it's 10, then why wouldn't you say 12? Well, then if you said 10, then what is it? You cut your exaggeration in half. So I'm going to multiply that and I'm going to subtract it. It's going to be 5. Okay. I'm going to think it was 5. So you say 10. Now also 5. Is 5 going to be guaranteed, or is 5 the total amount of money that they project that you can get? Right. I would say it's how much you project. And why? Because you're going to say, you know that how many pay-per-views you think you're going to do. Let's say you anticipate doing 10,000 pay-per-views at 40, right? That's $4 million. That's $4 million. Just say you give all of that. You're not going to give all of that to Terrence. You're going to give about 60% of that to Terrence, right? So a 10% is $400. That's $1.6 million on top of the guarantee that is 2. You're looking at somewhere between $3 and $4 million. And they may say this, watch, I'll advance you our projected revenue. Shout out to Aaron Muhammad. No, I do not. Shut up, Sparks. You're going to shut up for 5 minutes. Shut up, bro. You just say stupidity back to back to back to back to back. People do napkin, and respect to my guys that said that. Shout out to y'all, Angry Man Podcast, for giving me the proper term, which is napkin math. No, bro, you can get there because you know the main things. You know the price of the tickets. That's public knowledge. You know the capacity of the stadium that he fought in. That is public knowledge. So you also know the attendance. Since you know the attendance and you know the average price of the ticket, you can multiply those. But if you want to do an estimation, then you either are going to do a conservative estimation or you're going to do a liberal one. Back napkin man, thank you. You are going to do either a liberal one or a conservative one. Since I want to prove it to you, I'm going to do a liberal one. By that I mean I'm going to give every bit of the doubt. Okay? Every bit of the doubt. Thank you. 400,000. So you get $400,000 in pay-per-view revenue. Thank you. You get $400,000 in pay-per-view revenue. You get $1 million gate. That's $1.4 million. But you paid out 16. That you paid out 16. That means you lost $14.6 million. Mr. Martin, have you seen Quincy Carter? Yeah, I see Quincy Carter sometimes. I've seen him in a chat. I'll pass by a chat or something. I'll see him in there. It's all right. He's okay. He don't like me no more, but that's all right. You said, I F with that sweater. This sweater, yeah, this sweater's kind of dope. If you're talking about this, I love this sweater. Anyway, so let's get to it. I don't believe all that. If you're looking at if you're looking at a $2 million for Terence, $400,000 for David Avanesian, you're looking now at $2.4 million on $1.2 million worth of revenue, which means that you are looking at losing about $1.5 million. You lose $1.5 million. That seems to me, for an organization that is looking to get into boxing, that you may say, okay, that's $1.5 million in marketing that we will get for our fighter. Hey, thanks, bro. Yeah, thanks. I like that. Thank you. That's $1.5 million. That's $1.4 million that we will invest in order to sell and introduce our network to boxing fans. That seems reasonable. If you're going to invest $16 million, that is losing more money than your actual network is worth. So no, I don't believe that. That doesn't make any sense. Unless you're just saying have faith in what I say. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make sense. If you say he did 20,000 pay-per-views, 20,000 pay-per-views times 40. What is that? $6 million? No, it's not $6 million. Hold on a second. I'm terrible at math. So I always have to pull out my calculator. If you do $40 times 20,000. Oh my God, dog. That is 80,000. That's 800,000. That's 800,000 at 20. So you got 800,000. Now you're at 1.8. Now you're at 1.8 on 16 million. I'm going to leave it like I said. I'm going to be very concerned. I'm going to be very liberal. I'm not going to include the cost of the undercard. I am going to give them every penny from the pay-per-view. Watch. I am going to literally give them Terence Crawford every penny from the pay-per-view. I'm going to give them all 800,000. But just say they made 20,000. Pay-per-views, not 5, but 20,000. That's 800,000. That's 800,000. They do $1 million gate. That is 1.8 million. You're telling me that they paid David Avanesian $6 million and Terence Crawford $10 million, and that they are willing to lose $10 million minus 1.6? That's $8.4 million. Oh, no, 16 million minus. I got to see. I'm telling you, I'm terrible at math. I can never do math right in my head. 16 million minus 1. Let's just give them 200,000. Say they bought $200,000 worth of concessions. Minus 2 million is a $14 million loss. Does that make any now look, does that make any sense to you? Does that make it's a I did it 18. It's a $14 million loss. Round up to 2 million. That's a $14 million loss. That's a $14 million loss. Does that make any sense to you? I don't care if Bud complains or not. I don't know if Bud's complaining or not. I know that those numbers don't make sense at all. That doesn't make any sense. But you want me to believe that. I'm just going to tell you, for the sake of my channel and me personally, I don't believe it. I don't believe these guys are going to lose $14 million just to get Terence Crawford versus David Avanation. I don't believe that. And if you tell me there's something wrong with me because I don't believe it, I would tell you, dude, give your wife your checkbook immediately. Because even if it's true, you're not supposed to believe that. Much love in that super chat, bro. If I told you that I flip this pen, watch this. I'm going to flip this pen behind this pencil behind my head, and it is going to land on this tip like this. Okay? When I flip this, it is going to land like this on that ground. Yep. It landed on granite on its tail. You believe that? That's how likely it is that they were willing to lose. That's how likely it is that they were willing to lose $14 million on that. Okay. Much love in that super chat to my man, Makai Larkin. Said, that's why I come educational and informative. Thank you, brother. All right. Is there anything else that you want me to, any other examples that you need where there's something that it may be true, though. It may be true. The only problem is that it is 1 in a zillion chance. I could literally flip that mug like this for the next 60 years and it's not going to land like that. God dog. So let's suffice it to say that for the sake of this conversation, I'm not going to believe he got paid $10 million. I don't care if he said it or he didn't say it. I don't care if he said it. I don't care if Mother Teresa came out here and said it. I don't believe it. It's not safe to believe that. Okay? You got paid, right, about $2 million. Starborn, you got paid about $2 million. Okay? You got paid about $2 million. $2.1 million is how much you got paid. And you better hope they did not advance him any money. Okay? Because if it was an advance and not a guarantee, like, oh yeah, I'll pay it up front, but if we don't make our costs, we're going to take it back. That's like believing in the Big Bang. No. It is actually way dumber than the Big Bang. The Big Bang actually makes some sense. You just have to think, well, what was going on before the Big Bang? Right? But anyway, no, it's just ridiculous to believe. So let's just get with that's ridiculous to believe. Even if it winds up being true, it's not believable. And more than likely, it's just not the case. Okay. So let's do some more math. Let's tell you what is believable. So where are we at with Terence Crawford's money? 2.1. And guess what? Pocket watching. Hey, call me pocket watcher number one. Because this is not pocket watching. I'm about to do a projection. Projections are not pocket watching. They're projections. So we got Bud at what? Bud did not get no $5 million up front. Stop it. But whatever. Give him $5 million. Say they gave him $5 million and they were willing to lose. And they were willing to lose 4.3. They gave him $5 million, so they were only willing to lose. They were only willing to lose. What is that? Man, anyway, whatever, bro. Sure he did. I'm just gonna say what they produced. And the people that called in Nebraska that actually had the information said his guaranteed purse was $2 million. Okay? It's not going to be the first time somebody exaggerated about money. Floyd Mayweather Jr. exaggerates about money. Okay? Floyd will tell you, I just made $500 million. I just farted in the wind and made $500 million. I don't believe it, bro. Okay? I'm sure you made a lot of money, but I don't quite believe it. Anyway, people exaggerate about money all the time. I'm not taking Bud at his word. I'm going to go off what was reported by people that do not have any interest in lying on them and who are sports journalists that will do their research. Okay? I'm not going to go with that. Let's just go with my math for the sake of it and say that the man made $2.2 million. But I'll round up to 5 if you don't. No worries. Like I said, I'll be liberal and give him his $5 million. John Boy. Oh, man, there's John Boy. John Boy, and he's huge when he shows up into the building. Say good morning, y'all. Shout out to everybody. Much love in that super chat. So let's break this down. His opportunity cost. Watch this. Watch this. You get 500,000 pay-per-views. 500,000 pay-per-views times 90. Or, excuse me, times 80 equals $40 million. Watch this. $40 million in pay-per-view times 0.9 is 36 million. That's how much they would split times 0.35. Times 0.35 equals. That's $12.6 million. $12.6 million from the pay-per-view. And then say he's going to get 35% of the gate. And the gate is $25 million. And we're going to give him 35% of the gate. That's $8.7 million. So we add this. Watch this. We add this. Plus, so we add them together. Equals $21 million. Now watch this whammy. You multiply him by 2 because he had a rematch clause. Multiply it times 2 because he has a rematch clause. That is $42.7 million. That is $37 million in opportunity cost that he just threw away by ghosting the PBC and going to BLK Prime to fight for the $5 million, which is probably an exaggeration. That is I think it's closer to a $40 million opportunity cost because you ghosted the PBC. Now, why do I say that that's an opportunity cost? Because it's how much money you could have made if you would have taken that deal instead of a one-fight deal. A one-fight deal for $2 million plus a pay-per-view. Now, if you say that he got $10 million, then say he got $10 million. Because all that means is your opportunity cost is now cut down to $32 million. Right? Yeah. That is throwing away a lot of money for everybody that wants to talk about, but you're getting paid. But you're getting paid. Now you got guys also. Now let's talk about how you ghosted them. Can you sum up your math, Fanon? I can sum up your finance. Yo, it's easy. The Rise Pod said, I can sum up your math, Fanon, equals dumbass. Yeah, dumbass. That ain't even a duck. Ain't nobody going to duck somebody for $32 million. Okay? That is your absolute positive best argument for saying that man did not duck. Pennies on the dollar? 2 pennies on a dollar. Damn. Yeah, about 2 cents on a dollar. Because if you double that to 42 to 84 and he got 2, what's that, 4 cents on the dollar? He got a nickel on the dollar. He got a nickel on the dollar because he wanted his money up front. But look, man, that's not unheard of. It's not unheard of. Rise Podcast, go subscribe. Yes, sir. But that's not unheard of. Biggie Smalls did that with Sean Puffy Combs. That's what upfront money does. That's what upfront money does to you. When you get paid upfront, you are going to miss the back end. Dude, $5 million. If he got $5 million, he got all his money up front. I hate Faheem Sator, bro. I swear to God, I hate Faheem Sator. I hate Faheem Sator. I hate Faheem. Hey, I don't even want. Hey, I swear to God, bro. Faheem Sator, bro, makes me pay for my weakness. I'm being nice and I'm not hating on Bud. Okay? Because if I was hating on Bud, I would absolutely positively. I'm not going to subtract any expenses. I'm not going to subtract nothing. I'm going to give that man flat out $5 million. Flat out, tax-free, everything free. Because the tax will come into play proportionally between the upfront and the back. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to, in this scenario, you don't have to bring taxes in because the taxes are proportional. They're proportional. If what makes sense is true, watch this. If what makes sense is true, that man is left $40 million. He walked away from $40 million. He said, I know, God dog, because I'm not, see, that's why BFTB is better than me. I will tell you, bro, you guys think I'm a hater. I'm not a hater. I actually cut y'all breaks. You think I'm not cutting you a break. I'm cutting you a break. I'm definitely cutting you a break. Okay? Definitely. Definitely cutting you a break. 40 million, yeah, because why? Because you got him, because the rematch clause. Rick Timms. It's because of the rematch clause. He had a guarantee, he had a rematch clause. Which means you get 2 fights. Now watch this. Watch this. What he did by ghosting them and pulling out 1.6 million in revenue or 1.2 million in revenue, whatever it was, is you've now deflated your market value. So now they're like, dude, you didn't even do 135,000 pay-per-views. You did 5. You did 5. You did 5,000. So now you're not even worth the 35% that you were going to get. He wasn't. dude, he really didn't. Fanon is logic. I learned it from you. It is logical. Hey, bro, I'm trying to tell you, logic, you got to go with the logic, bro. That's how gamblers make money. You go with the logic, man. You go with the logic. Go with the logic. Don't go with what somebody tells you. Go with the logic. What is logical? What is illogical? The vast majority of the time, bro, you're going to wind up being right with what is logical, okay? And I don't care what it is. You can talk about religion. You can, and whether or not it's logical to believe that there's a God. Let me ask you a question. This is how I get every single body on this. It's illogical for there not to be something that you could consider a God. It's illogical. I don't care about your tests. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. I don't care. I don't care if somebody told you a story that you don't believe and the story they told you is illogical. I'm telling you that if something is created, there is a creator. It's illogical to believe that a rule that applies to everything in our world does not apply to everything in existence. It's just illogical. You cannot find anything that was created that did not have a creator. Somebody created this. It didn't just pop out of thin air. What created it, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? More than likely a machine or a human being, because I can find human. I don't know what or who or how or all that stuff was created, but I know it was created. And it's illogical of me to think that there's not a creator or createss or whatever you want to call it. It's just flat out illogical. And I'm sorry, I can't go with it because you're trying to convince me that just because you don't know that it can't happen, you don't know, do you? No, I don't know. Of course you don't know. But you do know it's illogical. Okay? So I'm not going with you. I'm going with logic. So in this particular instance, let's go with logic. And Fahim beats me because it is either really, really taking things for granted, which is stupid, or your opportunity cost, you just lost $40 million, or some big your potential lost opportunity is over $40 million. Because if Errol loses, that money is gone. Your 35% is already gone. If Errol goes fight Keith Thurman and does 300,000 pay-per-views, then you are at about 10%. You are less than 10%. If he does 300,000, if he does 400,000 against Keith Thurman, then you are literally, brother, you are literally at 2-3%. Because what's 1% of $300,000? It's 3,000. 10% is 30. 1% is 3. 1% is 4. If you did $1.6 million, if you did 5,000 pay-per-views, you're at like 1.2%. You're now talking about a 98-2 split. If your gate was $1 million and their gate is $5 million, you're now at 20% of the gate. But you're, god dang. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you take a chance, right? You bet on yourself, but you lost. You bet on yourself, but you lost. But you're going to bet on yourself either way. Should have taken that one fight deal for Bob Arum. Should have stayed with Bob Arum. It's illogical that these Cool Ranch Doritos created themselves. Completely illogical that them Cool Ranch Doritos did that themselves. You cannot find any scenario where you find something that was created and somebody didn't create them. Which is why, if there's anything old in Africa, watch this. If there's anything old in Africa that works really, really, really well, an alien created it. Because these dumb Negroes couldn't have done it. They're dumb. They're subhuman. They can't do it. They're not smart enough. If they're smart enough, it may mean that they're in this situation because we put them in there. put him in this situation, right? So it's an alien. That's why the pyramids are such a mention. How do we create the pyramids? I'll tell you how I created pyramids. Some black folks said they wanted a pyramid. That's how they created it. Some black folks said, hey, man, let's build this. Hey, let's get together and we build this. That's how they got created. What did they do to create it? I can't tell you. But I know you don't know it. You know what I mean? He said, now you preaching fire. Cook on with it, man. I'm just telling you. That's how they go. There's nothing. There's nothing that's been created that has created does not have a creator. So you can skip me with all that other stuff. I don't even have to get into it any deeper than that. I do not know any businessman. I don't know any that would willingly lose $14 million to a guy on a one-fight deal. That would voluntarily lose $16 million to people on a one-fight deal. When you know you're going to lose the $16 million, right? Now compare that to like what Showtime did with the fight with Caleb Plant. They gave him $40 million and the pay-per-view, right? But they thought they could make that money back. They thought, oh, well, we're not going to lose money. We'll be able to cover our cost because we figure at $90. Let's do this. Clear. $90 times 800,000 pay-per-views. That's $72 million right there. Bro, we can get our $40 million back, bro. And then pay him out and then give him a portion of the 30 extra. Now, see, Kimberly, this is what I'm saying. That's not even logical. John Boy said, no one is that stupid. No, they're not that stupid. And also, much love. They're not this stupid either. You're not going to wash money in the face of a federal investigation on anybody connected to Daniel Kinahan. And you are going to blatantly, boldly on the internet wash $16 million. And Bud is literally on the I'm going to watch you list by the federal government because he was associated with Daniel Kinahan. There's a $5 million reward on any information that leads to the arrest of Daniel Kinahan. So you telling me that somebody inside that circle that knows about this is not going to snitch when there's literally a $5 million reward for doing it? Caleb got 10, right, which leaves him with 20 million. That leaves him with 20 million. If they did 800,000 pay-per-views at $90 a pop, that's $72 million. That's 40 plus 10 is 50. That leaves you with $22 million. That allows Showtime to cover all of their costs, and then the remaining $22 million, Caleb Plant can get some, and that's just U.S. pay-per-view. That's just U.S. pay-per-view. There's also television rights over in Mexico that Canelo gets. So Canelo can get his $40 million. He can get 80% of the remaining $22 million, right? Which is another $8-9 million, whatever the math is. Caleb Plant gets his cut, and Showtime breaks even. Oh my God. The break-even point. The break-even point. Oh, man. What happened to the break-even point? Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat, bro. All y'all going to say I'm a hater, but I'm doing this I'm doing this because y'all keep saying, you keep mentioning my name, bro. Big Dogs Porting TB said, Errol is going to have to cater to Bud in order to make the fight happen, period. If Errol wants the chance to be undisputed at 147, he has to give Bud what he wants. No, he doesn't have to. Yes, so what? But how valuable is it? No. No, he doesn't. He's got to work with a network, bro. He's got to work with other people. But you're right. In order to get that belt, he's got to, as long as Terence Crawford has it, he has to fight Terence to get undisputed. Yes, he does. How unfortunate is that for both parties? Number one, how unfortunate it is that Terence Crawford does not want to fight that guy for Errol. That's very unfortunate because any other human being on this planet, that fight would have gotten made. Any other human being that was in the same situation as Terence Crawford, that fight would have gotten made. There's nobody else that would have done that. You cannot name any other fighter that would have done that. Anybody in the same situation as Terence Crawford wouldn't have done that. To receive a very fair offer because, bro, you are where you are. And I listened to Bernie the Boxer. I listened to what he said. I listened to it. I do listen to the boxing voice. I will tell you that. I do listen to the boxing voice. Bud. John Boy with the bud. But watch this. Brother, you're not a draw. In the words of the Devin Haney fandom, you say everything but I sell a lot of tickets. You say everything but I'm a big draw. You talk about your boxing accomplishments. Yes. But let me draw a comparison. Okay? I went to Harvard for college. I had straight A's in high school. I had straight A's in junior college. I mean, in high school. I had straight A's in grad school. I got in grade school. I had the highest SAT score in perfect SAT score. I had a perfect ACT score. And therefore, I should be paid as a salesman in technology $1 billion more than anybody else. And then somebody looks at you and says, hold on, man, here's the problem. You've been working for me for 10 years and you haven't sold anything. I'm sorry, I cannot eat your degrees. You're fired. You are going to have to take my offer. You're going to have to go over there and go into product development because you're a very bright guy and I have a job for you. But you're not a revenue producer. You should be over there working with them in a cost center. You're very good at everything you do except for actually selling something. This guy over here doesn't have a college degree, but he sells $500 million in hardware every year. I'm paying him more than I'm paying you. I'm sorry. I don't care about your accolades. I don't care that you got a higher IQ score. I do not care that you went to Harvard and you got out summa cum laude. I don't care that you went to Oxford for college and you got out of there summa cum laude. I don't care about none of that other than it tells me you're smart enough to do something, which is sit over there in that office and create presentations for him. But I'm giving him the money because he's the one that gets the clients to say yes. Now, you can talk about you were undisputed at 140. You were a champion at 135. ESPN said you're pound for pound number one. Ring Magazine said you were pound for pound number one, even though I don't think they did. You can do all of that. But here's the problem. Errol Spence Jr., people say yes to buying his fights. They say no to buying yours. They say yes to him. They say no to you. They will say yes to you if you fight him. They will say no to you if you fight somebody else. They will say yes to Errol if Errol fights you. They will say yes to Errol if Errol fights somebody else. I'm sorry, Errol is the draw. That is just what it is. That's just what it is. You can't get out of that. You are not in this, and then what happens? You say, okay, I'm going to bet on my accolades selling fights. So you bet on your accolades and nobody cares. Or rather, somewhere between 3 and 20,000 care. More than likely, somewhere around 3 actually cared. Enough to put $20, $40 up. And then watch this. You got guys walking around admitting you gave out tickets. You got guys running around admitting that you gave out tickets to your fight in Nebraska. Gave out the tickets. So when I'm saying that it's sold out, there's a very, very good chance that really it didn't come close to selling out, and that they gave up tickets to get people in there so that they made sure that the place was not empty. Which is why tickets were being sold on Groupon. So a certain percentage of that $1 million gate was really an investment. Really is part of a loss. If you had only 8,000 tickets sold and you gave away 10, and you had $1 million gate if you calculated that off 18, you can cut that in half to $500,000, which means you probably break even. No, it's not even break even. You lose $500,000. Come on, man. These people are going to be looking for these numbers when it's time to make the fight. You don't sell. You have to give away. If you give away tickets, and I don't even think you probably, because why? Well, you can come up with a reason. Well, Ashanti was there the same night. Bud, a dummy. Much love in that super chat, bro. Much love in that super chat, bro. Spence can wait till Bud's mandatory due to the spring, during the spring. Yeah, he can. But watch this. He can also just say, I don't need it. You have fair, then you have realistic. Exactly. I'm being realistic. Brock Howard said, Bud, and to finish off John Boy, he said coward. Like, ussy. Bud is dummy. And John Boy ends it with a big time exclamation mark. Man, much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you guys for the support. Coward. Brock Howard is in there too. But for 9, he beat the great Ricky Burns. Doesn't that count for anything? Not a thing, bro. Nothing. Not that one. Much love in that super chat to my man Brock Howard and y'all. So seriously, bro. For 9, I actually had a 6-week period where I had all A's and an F and a dad gum 69-2 in English because I absolutely despised her and she despised me, so I barely did work. Crazy days. Yeah, bro, you can't let that happen. You got to do the work in spite of them. You got to spite them with good grades. You got to spite them with good grades. For 9, you my brother are the man. Salute. Thank you, Melvin Jones. So, bro. Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of money you threw out there, bro. You could listen to them dudes, and I'm saying opportunity cost. Let me pull up the dictionary of opportunity cost so you don't think I'm making something up. I need you to know that this is really a legitimate thing. It is legitimate. Let me look up which definition is the best because they got several. But let's get this one. Here you go. So, opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. The benefits of an alternative, of the best alternative option that are given up by a particular decision. Efficiency. Producing something with as little waste as possible, optimal. What is the simple definition of opportunity cost? How is opportunity cost defined in everyday life? Opportunity cost is the value of the next best alternative when a decision is made. That is an example. It is an example. It is what is given up. So, the opportunity cost for Terence Crawford taking that fight at BLK Prime was around $42 million for him. His opportunity cost was at the very least $32 million. The very least $32 million in opportunity cost. The decision was inefficient. When I would talk to you guys about what's your best alternative to a negotiation agreement, Terence Crawford they literally gave him a better option that was a better option than any reasonable alternative. But yet he went with the worst alternative. That's when you know you do a bad job negotiating something. When you have this, when you have a scenario like this, when I'm talking to you and I'm like, okay, all right, I'm Errol. Hey, look, bud. What can Errol do if he doesn't fight Terence Crawford, right? You say, well, he can fight Keith Thurman. Well, what would he get if he fought Keith Thurman? Well, he'd probably get 300,000 to about, say he does 350, 400,000 pay-per-views against Keith Thurman, right? Which is what Keith Thurman got when he fought Manny Pacquiao. Not unreasonable to think he could do that. So you get say you got 400,000 pay-per-views, and you do 400,000 pay-per-views at 400,000 pay-per-views. And it's $80 a pop. That's $32 million in the rate, plus your gate of $5 million, right? But let's just stick with that and just do the pay-per-view. He gets $32 million in pay-per-view time, and he's gonna get 70% of it. 70% of the 90. So times 90 times 0.9 equals $28 million, and then times he's gonna get 70% of that. So times 0.9, he's going to get $25 million fighting Keith Thurman off of pay-per-view if they do 400,000 pay-per-views. And then he's going to get another 2.5 million to that. So say he gets $27 million, right? Now watch this. For Starborn, it said Errol passed up $25 million. Do you see why he would pass up $25 million? If he has a $27 million option to fight Keith Thurman, right? You say, I had $25 million for you guaranteed, Errol. But Errol can say, dude, I can make $27 million fighting Keith Thurman. I safely believe that if I fight Keith Thurman, I can make $27 million fighting Keith Thurman. Off the pay-per-view and the gate in and the gate in Dallas, I can make $27 million. Why would he take $25 million from Bud? It would be a bad decision, wouldn't it? It'd be a bad decision for him. Also, if he felt that he could make $60 million fighting Bud, because remember, it's 2 fights with Bud. And Bud is making 25. Say Errol makes 40. 40 times 2 is 80. 40 times 2 is 80. Why would he fight Keith Thurman? He shouldn't, because there's more money in the Terence Crawford fight, right? So he doesn't fight Keith Thurman. He wants to fight Terence Crawford. But what does Terence Crawford do? Terence Crawford can make 40 over 2 fights, but he decides to make 6. Let's give him 6. He decides to take 6 against David Avanesyan. He literally got offered way more money to fight Errol than he stood to make against David Avanesyan. He took his best, he took a worst alternative. He took a worse alternative to what was offered to him. And so watch, everything between what he was offered and what he took is cost. All real world money that he spent because he turned it down. He took 2 in the hand over 42 in the hand. Took 6 over 42. And that's math. I don't have to guilt trip you into, well, it's because black people boycotted. No. Bud boycotted Bud. Bud boycotted Bud. And I don't care who you are, brother. I don't care who you are, brother. I'll pull a CPA out here. They can do the same math. Certified public accountant will tell you the same thing. What did he do in the past? What is your profit and loss? We believe that we would sell at least 500,000 pay-per-views at $80 a pop. In Vegas, we're going to get a $25 million gate because ringside seats are going to go for like $5,000 a ticket. And let me tell you why I say it's going to go, ringside seats are going to go for like $5,000 a ticket. Because Gervonta Davis's ringside seats are going for 2 against Hector Garcia. Gervonta Davis versus Hector Garcia have ringside seats for $2,000. Bud Errol ringside seats in Vegas are going to go for $10,000. Shaq is not going to have to, you're not going to give Shaq a ticket. Shaq is going to pay for the ticket. So let's say their gate is $25 million. And it could be more. Seeing as Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder did a $16 million gate, and I guarantee you, Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford are going to outsell that fight. Because one of them is about as popular as Deontay Wilder is, and the other one is more popular than Tyson Fury is. You kidding me? That thing is going to sell $25-30 million gate. And he walked away all from all of that to hand out 10,000 tickets in Omaha, Nebraska. And you want to talk about what's good? Oh, Bud got his money. Bud got his money. Nah, bro. Bud burnt his money. Bud burnt his money. About $40 million of it. Oh, but we can get right back to that negotiation, though. Yesterday's price ain't today's price, partner. We were going to give you 35% when we thought, dude, that you could sell tickets. You're a risk because you by yourself, you did 5,000. No, bro, we're not gonna pay, dog. We're not gonna pay. We're not gonna pay Matisse. We're not gonna pay Matisse. You're not getting that money, bro. You're not getting that offer no more, bro. Brock Howard said, dude literally thinks there is more money in the fight that is in the UK. Not looking good for the Nebraska school system. Conscious Edwin said, Fernando, I'm going to say it again. You a good one to deal with the logicless trolls. LeVar said, you missed my super chat, homie. My bad. Let me slide back up. But yeah, this is because y'all want to go ahead and talk crap about me yesterday. So, you get it. LeVar said, Bud's new nickname, Dud. Nah, dog. Lonzo. Oh, I think I might have missed LeVar's. Hold on one second. LeVar in the building. I would say, duh. As in, duh. Duh. Dude, this is the biggest pay. Dude, that is generational wealth. That is generational wealth. That. Right there. It will literally take you 20 of those David Avenation fights to make up for that. LeVar Aiken said, I agree with you for now, but they need to sit down and work this out because they both really need this fight for money and legacy, not just one side. Nah, Errol don't need it like as much. Nah, Errol don't need it as much as he does. Errol don't need to work out nothing. Errol don't need to get that dude nothing. See, because here's the problem with that, LeVar. Here's the problem. If Errol sits down again and talks to him, Bud is going to go do the same thing again, and he's going to give Bud another $2 million payday. Or another he's going to get another $2-3 million payday. Because somebody's going to invest in a fight with him because they're going to figure, well, we can do a better job promoting it this time. Even though I don't know who would do it. Maybe you can go to Bob Arum and Bob Arum will say, okay. Like, dude, they're not going to do that, bro. To me, it's offensive to me. It's like, man, I snapped on my son one day because I was joking. And I said I would pay this dude. I forget how much I said I would pay him to take out the garbage. Like, just joking, man. I give you $20 to take out the garbage, man. You know what I mean? Because, like, it was his allowance time. And I was like, man, you got to do something. Just take out the garbage. I'll give you the $20. Just take out the garbage, do something. And the dude was saying something to me like, dude, I'm not taking out the garbage. Like, he didn't want to take out the garbage for $20. Dude, I snapped on him. Snapped. Like, I will snap. Like, I got to watch it with my son how I snap. I was like, man, if somebody offers you that much money for something you should be doing anyway, are you crazy? Do you know how many people in the world, if they were offered that amount of money to do that little effort, for you to sit up and snub your nose at it? Dog, the universe don't like ugly, bro. That's why Bud's gloves popped. Dog, $40 million worth of pissed off universe will pop your gloves. It will pop your gloves and put a Ja Rule Ashanti concert right next to you, where all the black people in your own town are going to go to that. Because they'll be like, come on, man, I'm going to go see it. I ain't trying to see this fight. Bug going to win this fight. You know what it is. I'll see it on replay, bro. Good morning, Fanon. BFTB said it. A little buddy need to burn those gloves. Hey, man, I'm telling you, man, that's why his gloves popped. Dog, I believe, hey, you going to call me superstitious, you call whatever. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And you out here with cheap gloves. Bro, did you hear Bernie the Boxer say, hey, man, those are just cheap gloves? This man is getting paid what you said is $10 million, but he's fighting in cheap gloves. You penny pinched on the cost of your gloves. I told you I listened to the Boxing Voice. Dude, Boxing Voice has that up on a short. I started listening to it. I listened to Bernie the Boxer. Dude, the Boxing Voice doesn't do videos about me. Much love in that super chat. Zenith 360 said PBC negotiations is what made Bud shining to BLK. Yeah, I will tell you I listened to the Boxing Voice. Absolutely, I listened to the Boxing Voice. Why wouldn't I listen to the Boxing Voice? Boxing Voice is a great channel. They're not as, they got the second best live stream that goes on at the same time as mine does. Yeah, just kidding. Nah, seriously, man, I listen to the Boxing Voice. Why wouldn't I listen to the Boxing Voice? They cover a lot of really good fighters. They cover a lot of different stuff. They got good breath. You know what I mean? And I don't mean breath like as in breath, you smell their breath. I mean breath as in like distance, and they cover a lot of different things. Slick Skip said, did you attend Trump University? Brother, no, I did not attend Trump University. Much love in that super chat, bro. I am not a Dragon Face and Fernandez teaching today. Breath, yes, with the D. Bread, TH. Breath. They cover a lot of stuff. So, of course, I watch the Boxing Voice. I'm not going to be doing interviews with Austin DeLay. I'm just being honest with you. You know what I mean? I stay in my lane, bro. I'm not about to do Austin DeLay interviews. There are plenty of other cats there's other cats doing that. You know what I'm saying? They cover boxing. Yeah, they do. They cover boxing. They cover a lot of different stuff. They're not covering me. You know what I'm saying? They don't cover me. Like, they're not over there trying to tell people what I said and start up arguments about what I said. Bro, if you want to argue with me, you can come to me. What sense does that make? I respond to my comment section. Any of y'all going to other people to complain about me, you missing out. Leave the comment in the comment section. I will respond to you in a lot of instances. Zenith 360 said, why be cheap on gloves on your highest payday? Exactly. Exactly. And he said the other pair busted in the locker room. Guess what? That means they didn't have a second pair because their second pair already busted. If they had stopped the fight and insisted that they go back and get the other pair, they wouldn't have had a second pair. He would have had to forfeit that fight. I'm trying to tell you why you get them cheap gloves for. If they would have sent him back to the locker room to get a second pair of gloves, they literally would have had to forfeit the fight. Because he doesn't have a second pair of gloves, because the first pair busted in the locker room. And then the second one busted. And by the way, it busted earlier in the fight. Because that stuff had to be pulling back until it got noticeable. It had to start popping off of some light jabs. Nah, bro, that's some funny. BZ, I definitely gives you props, Martin. You speak facts and you keep it partial, not on a hate mission like some other, I'm sure. Hey, yeah, man, look, let me tell you something, bro. I don't hate none of these dudes. Not near none of them. Don't hate not near none of them. Not near none of them. That's why he stopped carrying David and got it. Yeah, exactly. That's why he stopped and knocked him out. He could have had that guy, probably could have had that guy out in the first, second round. He's a bum. Sorry, but he is. Just got him out of there when he needed to get him. Hit him with a big hook as if he couldn't have hit him. The dude literally was holding his hands like this the entire time. The truth ain't hate at all, man. That sounded real intentional. Look, dude, I'm not saying whether it's intentional Zenith 360 or not. I'm telling you, if what Bernie said that the other pair of gloves busted, that's what Bernie said. If that is true, then he only had one pair of gloves. Right? I don't care how bad you think of me. Is that true or not true? It is true. If what Bernie said is true, that the first pair of gloves popped in the locker room. And he only has 2 pairs of gloves. That means when the second pair popped in the ring, if they had said, go get your second pair of gloves and change right now, it would mean that Bud would not have a second pair to get. If Bud didn't have a second pair to get, he will be disqualified. If he was disqualified, he would have lost his belt to David Avenetian. That is the truth. It is an unfortunate truth, but it is the truth. Can somebody argue with me about that one? I know I'm a hater and I need to, I'm off my medication. Help me, brother. I got to make an honest admission here. I don't take psychological medication, okay? I don't take any of that stuff. So the only medication I use for my psychological issues that I have is coffee and water. So I have well-documented psychological issues, right? You can Google me, punk. It's out there. So I need somebody to help me so that I don't have anybody running around saying, because I think this, maybe there's a hospital that I should go to. That's what got you fried, buddy. Because I know you're listening, partner. And hey, brother, got a lot of respect. But bro, that got you fried. Just so you know. That's when I have to step over. And if I step over, bro, trust me, it's not going to ever be pretty. Because I am very sarcastic. I know all the facts. I am very good at making arguments based on logic that you will not be able to refute. And I will do this too, because I know that I do this. I will make arguments that are so obvious that anybody can take them and shove them dead up your ass. Hey, man, some of y'all clowns, I will not just whoop you. I will take your worst enemy and I will pull your worst enemy to the side and I will tell them how to whoop you. You can't get out of these arguments. You can't. They're foolproof. They are foolproof. If Terence Crawford had not knocked that man out, that man would have lost his WBO belt in the most disgraceful way that I can think of. Because he didn't have a second pair of gloves. They had already popped. Right? He said, why associates of TR and Kinahan got glove issues? Hey, man, you cannot put that on Daniel Kinahan, bro. Chill, man. I ain't chilling on nothing, bro. I don't appreciate that. It's just a coincidence, Fanon. 2 pair of gloves, both open like strippers on COD. What is KOD? All the time. It's used. It used to be 4 pair easy in the 60s. Hey, man. It may very well be 4 pairs in the 60s, but if it's 2 pairs that night, it ain't the 1960s. It ain't the 1960s. Hey, Fanon, what's good, bro? So Bud didn't have a backup pair of gloves. You are right. He would have lost that belt. Yeah. He should have lost the belt. Let's go one further. He should have lost the belt. Not could have lost the belt. He should have lost the belt. King of Diamonds, thank you, brother, because I didn't know what King of Diamonds meant. Thank you. I don't go to strip clubs. Waste of money. I got better stuff at home. like no need, bro. No need. I got better stuff at home. I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. I never heard. No. He had a backup pair, but the backup pair busted. See, he fought in his backup pair. He fought in his backup pair. Daryl 8000. Much love in that super chat, bro. No, he had a backup pair. He fought in his backup pair. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? Listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. If what Bernie the Boxer said was true, and I need for somebody to tell me if what I'm saying is true. Like I said, I will fry you for free. Did Bernie the Boxer, I need Fahim Sator. I need one person. Fahim Sator. Did Bernie the Boxer say that Terence Crawford's gloves, first pair of gloves, busted in the back room? I need a yes or no on that, because I'm going to walk straight down this. Like I said, I'm going to give you guys something that you can absolutely muffle people with. Is it true that Bernie the Boxer said his first pair busted in the locker room? Yes or no? Much love to everybody in the super chat, everybody in the Cash App. Thank y'all for y'all support. I got to check that Cash App before somebody says yes. So I make sure. Oh no, my phone ran out of power. Hold on. God dog, man. And I missed my man. Hey, shout out to my man yesterday, Paul Carrick in the building in that super chat in the Cash App yesterday. Thank you. So that's a yes. Right? That's a yes. Next step. Is the Nebraska Commission in the room when they put the gloves on? Is the commission in the locker room when they put on the gloves? Listen to me, David Avenetian. Are they in the locker room when he put on the gloves? That's a yes, correct? I'm waiting on the second yes. I need to say yes. That the commission is in the locker room when he put the gloves on, the first pair of gloves on. Right? You know, now you know you done. Oh, you know what's up. Does Ephraim already see where I'm going? So, if it is true that the first pair of gloves bust in the locker room and the athletic committee was in the room when he put his gloves on, right? Then they popped after they put on the first pair of gloves, right? That means they knew he either did this. If the gloves popped, he had to put on a second pair of gloves, right? They got on his hands. The second pair of gloves got on his hands after the first gloves popped. Right? Yes. Which means this. Either the commission did not know that he changed his gloves, which is illegal, or the commission knew that he was already on his second pair of gloves when they popped in the ring. And the reason they let him keep fighting was because they knew he didn't have a second pair of gloves. Right? Either the commission knew he did not have a second pair of gloves because the first pair was defective, and they watched him change, or Terence Crawford changed his gloves in the locker room without the commission knowing. In either scenario, that fight gets overturned. In either scenario, Terence Crawford is at risk of losing that belt. If he changed his gloves and the Nebraska's commission did not know it, that belt is gone. Because that is a clear violation of the rules. If the commission knew it, and that's the reason why they allowed Terence Crawford to continue to fight in knowingly defective gloves, that is a reason for David Avanesyan to not only sue Bud, but to sue the state of Nebraska. Because he most definitely suffered injury as a result, direct result of being hit by gloves that Terence Crawford and the Nebraska Commission knew were defective. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? Am I missing something? I need to know, am I missing something? I don't think I'm missing nothing. If what Bernie the Boxer said was true, Terence Crawford either switched gloves without notifying anybody, or he notified them. The committee knew he didn't have a second pair of gloves, and they allowed that man to continue to fight, knowing he was fighting in defective gloves. One or the other has to be true. Like I said, I will give people something to shove so far up your backside, it'll never come out. Oops. Oops. Slick Skip. I'm sorry, I was cooking. Because I want to let you know there's always other levels, bro. Slick Skip in the building. Fanon, hold up, man. I asked if Bud went to Trump University, not you. Oh, sorry, brother. Nothing but love. Always for me. Hey, bro. Much love in that super chat, bro. Look, brother, there's a lot of cats that didn't go to any accredited universities, and they are very, very, very bright people, bro. Hey, dog. Somebody want to debate me on whether or not Terence Crawford should lose that belt? That's a violation of the WBO rules at the very least, bro. And that athletic commission, they may have known that those things were busted early in the fight. That stitching, man, that was that big. It was that big. But like I said, bro, God don't like ugly, bro. And I'm going to say that and say the universe don't like ugly. That's why you got to be real sensitive about making fun of dead people. You got to be real sensitive about being a hypocrite. Because, and this is just what I think, bro. This is what I think. This is my opinion. I think that when you throw things out of balance, And lies throw things out of balance. Silence won't throw things out of balance, but straight up lies and manipulation throw things out of balance. And eventually, dudes, it's got to set itself straight in some way, bro. And now you're looking at that, dog. That right there ain't no joke. Creole said you was charboiling last week. You slow roasting today. Oh, I'm slow roasting. Nah, honestly, man, I just bust these dudes out something nasty. Because I don't think anybody ever said that. It just occurred to me. Hold on, man. That is why Ness said, oh my God. Did you hear Ness? Hey, man. Ness from the Boxing Voice deserves a lot of credit. Because, bro, he tried so hard to get Bud off of saying that fight would be bigger in the UK. He literally tried to hold his co-host back. No, let's change subject. And his co-host was like, nah. Let's get back on this. And then when Bernie the Boxer said, yeah, the other pair bust in the back room, he was like, man, be careful what you saying. Man, he lifted his head like, oh. Man. Oh my goodness gracious, bro. He tried to cut him off fast, bro. Fanon, you took that other live down. What live? I didn't take no lives down. What live did I take down, bro? Nah, you got to go to the live tab. If you're looking for the lives, my lives, you got to go to my live tab. I haven't taken any lives down. Heck no. I want cats to be tempted to use my lives so I can get them a copyright strike. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to be tempted because I ain't telling you I ain't like these dudes. I'm going to hit you with a copyright strike in a minute. I'll hit you in a copyright strike in a minute. You ain't about to steal my work to ridicule my work. No. Because guess what? You'll be like, it's fair use. It's fair use if you go to court and the court says it's fair use. But if you lie on me, it's defamation. Fair use is when you're using it for educational purposes. If you're lying on me, that's not an educational purpose, partner. Ridiculing me is not an educational purpose. You think I'm you just because you put it's for educational purposes. If you're not using it for educational purposes, you're using it for ridicule and defamation. It's not fair use. Thank you very much. And on top of that, YouTube don't care about fair use. YouTube cares about you saying they're going to leave it up to you to go prove it's fair use. So you got to be willing to go to court. And all I got to do to keep it off is go file a charge on you. That's all I got to do. All I got to do is say, oh, okay, you think it's fair use? I don't. I am going to go because I'm in my state. I am going to file a case against you in civil court in my state and notify them that I did it. And you will never see that crap up on a screen again. They will not reinstate it as soon as I show them proof that I filed something on you. And guess how much it's going to cost me to file something on you? Nothing. I'll write it myself. Oh, I went through the process because somebody got smart. Oh, yeah, I did. I told you, you lie on me, that's defamation of character. So I'm going to use that copyright. You're going to take it off. And if you object to it, I'm going to take you to court. And I'm going to take you to court for a copyright violation and defamation of character if you say anything about me that's not true. If you say I said something that is not true, I'm going to sue you for defamation of character. Libel and slander. And intentional infliction of mental distress. To boot. Because you know I have a you know that I have a preconditioned you know I have a pre-existing condition. So just to let you know, brother, I will also get you for intentional infliction of mental distress. Because if you know that I have any pre diagnosis of any type of mental illness, I'm going to get you for intentional infliction of mental distress, because you know that there's a potential that I could be mentally distressed. So your own words will fry your ass. And I don't even mind it, because you know what I am? I'm smarter than you. And I mean it. And I mean it. And I will prove it over and over and over and over and over again until you admit it. I will beat you over and 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 over again with it until you admit it. So what I just did to Terence Crawford is I just proved that man either needs to get that belt taken away from him, or he needs to get that win taken away from him, or he needs to have his belt taken away from him. Because if he switched gloves without the Nebraska Commission knowing he switched gloves, if he did not notify, I don't know, there may even be a requirement that they notify him that those gloves popped. Because you could have somebody in there watching the gloves get retaped. If you're supposed to allow a team member to watch that and you redo it and David Avenetian was not in there when you did it, he was in there the first time watching you get taped, but then your tapes pops after the fact and you switch them and you don't notify him that you switched them, and then you can't go back to get another pair of gloves because there is no other pair of gloves. The most name-dropped celebrity in rap in the 80s because of his financial success changed when he ran for POTUS. That's fact. What is that? I don't know what that is, bro. Anyway, Mo Pressure, you got to respect. Hold on a second. Bud may lose his license over this. There goes Hall of Fame. What a way to end his career. No, I mean, he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. And the Nebraska Commission, if they knew about the gloves, yeah, I got a pre-existing diagnosis. And you are intentionally by your defamation. Yeah, I read somebody, bro, watch this. And I didn't even snitch. Dude, I saw a video where somebody made somebody else who they knew had a diagnosis of schizophrenia and panic attacks and anxiety, had them sign an agreement that they knew was not valid, that would allow them to suffer serious harm if they didn't do what that person said. If that person went into the hospital over that, that is intentional infliction of mental distress. That is a tort. It is not a criminal. It is not a crime. It's a tort. I'm not saying, no, I didn't know. It's not that particular situation. No, different. If that person has suffered any type of mental distress, went to the hospital as a direct result of that, that is intentional infliction of mental distress. There's damages of source associated with it, and you're civilly liable for that. You can't know this, so you cannot put people in a scenario where they're scared, they're anxious, and then they suffer damages, and you did it on purpose. That is a tort. That is a tortious act. It is not against the law, but it is civilly. You can be held responsible for damages for that. You're only blocked for 5 minutes because I don't even know who the person is. I'm just giving you an example of that particular scenario taking place. You can't do that. You can't just run out there and you can't scare somebody to death and think that there's no ramifications. You can't. If you know that somebody is crazy, like really, really diagnosable, like you know that, or you know they're claustrophobic, and you literally lock them in a closet, dude, that's intentional infliction of mental distress. That's illegal. That's psychological battery. Intentional infliction of mental distress is the psychological version of assault and battery. You don't have to touch them. You think people think, well, if I don't touch you. No, if you touch somebody's mind and you know that you're doing that, bro, they can sue you for intentional infliction on mental distress. All they need to do is have damages. And especially if you already know that those people are subjected to that. You know that? Like if you tell somebody that's deathly afraid that they got a heart attack and you're running around telling everybody around them, gaslighting is illegal, bro. Gaslighting is illegal. Anyway, whatever, bro. Gizzard Glock said, it's your fault for whatever happens if you put someone in a situation you know will F them up, mental, physical, or emotional. Yeah. It's mental infliction. It's intentional infliction of emotional distress. Also, you have things like tortious interference with contractual relations. That's very serious. Tortious interference with contractual relations. You know that I have a business relationship with somebody and you are going out of your way to get them to break my deal. That is a damage that I suffer. You knew that I was going to suffer it. You went out of your way to make me suffer it. That is why boxing promoters cannot approach other fighters when they know they're under contract, because you are trying to entice them to break an agreement with me. You are inflicting indirect damage on me, man. You know what I mean? You're trying to steal the benefit of the bargain from me. I mean, bro, and it's just real. Dog, forced to sign a contract. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to get into any details about any contract. I'm just going to tell you that when you do things on YouTube, like you are going to try to personally attack somebody on YouTube, dude, you are not, like, for example, that's what Cardi B got that chick Tasha K for. Intentional infliction of mental distress. She's out here telling these people, telling everybody in the world, this woman got herpes, that this woman was a prostitute, that she was doing all these things, which she had no reason to believe were true. And she thought because this person's a celebrity and it's known that you can do that. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. And that's why she got fried like that. No, you cannot do that. No, you can't. The only question is whether or not somebody's going to call you on it or not. For now, can a judge take a belt away from Bud because of the gloves? No, I don't think so. I don't think he can. But the WBO can. David Avenation could sue the WBO. Definitely can. If they're a part and party to it, and he can sue in the state of Nebraska too. If they knowingly let that man get in there with defective gloves, and the reason that they didn't make him replace the gloves once they knew it was defective is because they knew he didn't have a second pair, then if you knew they didn't have a second pair, those people right there should have called the fight, because you know there's no second pair to go to. Sorry, you had 2 pairs of gloves pop. That's on you. We cannot let you fight anymore. Since we can't let you fight anymore, you forfeit. It's just like you get a big gash on your eye. Sorry, brother, we can't let you. You can't see out of one eye. The doctor stops the fight because you can't see. You may have been up in rounds, but if you stop that after 4 rounds, it's called by a punch. It doesn't matter how far you up on the cards. They got to stop that fight. If you have only 2 pair of gloves and both of them pop and you can't get another set of pre-approved gloves in the ring, then you cannot fight anymore. It's not David Avenishan's fault. It's your fault. So there you go. If that first pair of gloves popped, right? If the first pair of gloves popped, and if they knew it popped, and then they let him put another pair on, and David Avenishan didn't know about it, If they change the gloves without telling the commission, then you lose your belt. Flat out. You lose your belt flat out. Because you can't change your gloves in the locker room. And you're looking at a suspension. All off burning the boxer run in his mouth. Unless they say, oh, I'm lying. Willie will show me the second pair of gloves. Let me see both pair of gloves. Am I missing something? Let me know if I'm missing something. I don't think I'm missing nothing. And am I hating? Is this hate? Is this self-hate? What I just laid out for you, is that self-hate? What if it was Tyson Fury? What if it was Tyson Fury? And Tyson Fury had gloves, got taped up. He's hitting the mitts, hitting the pads on his taped up gloves, and they pop. And then he changes them in both scenarios. He changes the gloves, but he doesn't tell the commission. And he goes in there and he fights and they pop again. Just off the fact that you switch the gloves without telling the commission, you should lose your belt right there. Number two, in the scenario that they told the commission, and then the commission lets him fight, doesn't tell David Avanesyan that the gloves changed, then know when the second pair pops, they still let him fight because they know there is no second pair of gloves to go get. Because according to Bernie the Boxer, there is no second pair. Is this self-hate? Is this self-hate? No, I did not watch Rachel Donner's anything with her in it, even though I like Rachel Donner. What? Keep in mind that the fight would have been disrupted if there were no second gloves. Once the round is over, BLK Prime would have burned to the ground. Grand opening, grand closing. Nah, man, look, if they would have went in any scenario, bro, if Bernie the Boxer's telling the truth, if they would have postponed the fight to go get the gloves, they wouldn't have any gloves. And I want to know why. And so there was no gloves right there. They could have said, hey, where are the gloves? Bring on the second pair of gloves. They said, well, we got to go to the locker room to go get them. Oh, well, we'll just wait to the end of the round and then we'll go to the locker room and replace them. That means you lied to the boxing commission and said that there was a second pair of gloves out there. And they trusted you, but then you got the knockout in a fight that it already looked like you were carrying the guy. I'm telling you, bro. Is this self-hate? Rick Timms is bored. Hey, man, stop talking bad about me, bro. Anyway, I just ran into that one, honestly. I didn't think about that before today. But I'm really thinking out loud. And that right there, if you look at what somebody says, if someone says it, you got to think about it all over the place. But don't mess with me, Rick Timms. Leave me alone. Let me talk about purse splits. Don't let me talk about violations where Bernie the Boxer said, hey, man, yeah, there were cheap gloves. The first set popped in the locker room. And you only have 2 approved pair, which means he was down to his only pair. And guess what? It doesn't appear that David Avanesyan knew that he was already down to his second pair. Because if David Avanesyan would have known that they were down to the second pair, he could have immediately insisted that the fight get called off. No, there is no second pair. The first one popped. This is the second pair. He's had 2 pairs of manufactured. No. Do you need to call this fight? And he could have got a cheap win, bro. And y'all be sick because Errol could go fight David Avanesyan for pennies and be undisputed. According to Robert Garcia, no one from the commission checked the gloves of his fighter that night. So he switched gloves without the commission checking him. Yeah. That means there's no second pair of gloves. And then if that is true, Robert Garcia's fighter was there. If Robert Garcia's fighter is there and he's not there, he will still know what happened. I'm sorry, brother. Hey, 007, what you got to say? Starborn. Starborn, what you got to say, bro? What you got to say, bro? These pesky YouTubers, you know what it is. Oh, Frank Warren, Frank Warren coming for that WBO belt. He should. Frank Warren should absolutely positively go for that belt. He said, wait, I took a call, now I'm lost. What was the last thing that you heard, bro? Hey, hold on 1 second. Let me shut my dog up for a second. Much love in that super chat, bro. Nah, there's more than one fighter in the car. Hold on 1 second. Sit. Sorry about that. Robert Garcia was one of the trainers. Oh, that's terrible, bro. Much love in that super set. Okay, so Robert Garcia was one of the trainers, so they didn't check his gloves, which means there's a chance. Oh, what did Bernie say? Oh, you want me to go through that whole thing again, man? God dog. You want me to go through that same thing again? Bernie the Boxer said, hey, so let me do this for both Lamont Morris, and I'll do it for, at the same time, Zenith 360. All right, so this is what we get. Bernie the Boxer was on the Boxing Voice. Shout out to the Boxing Voice. Shout out to Ness. Shout out to his co-host. Somebody put in the chat the co-host name, please. I don't want to do this anymore to that guy. Can somebody tell me in the chat the name of the co-host for the Boxing Voice? So that because I don't get to watch him a lot, so I don't know the guy's name, but he does a very good job. I don't want to keep leaving his name out. So yeah. So this is what it is. You saw the Bernie part on Boxing Voice, right? So with Zenith 360, what I went through was Ness and Danny. Thank you, Danny. I'll remember Danny. Okay, from Chicago. That's my Chicago brother right there, I do believe. At least he's a Bears fan, so that's why I rock with him. Okay, so Zenith 360, here you go. What's going on, Aaron Muhammad? All right, so watch this. Are you joking, Rasul Sabor? Are you joking? Anyway, so watch this. Bernie the Boxer said that there's only two, that one of the gloves popped. One of the gloves popped in the locker room, Zenith 360, right? You got that part. That the first pair popped. So basically, if the first pair popped, he had to switch gloves. Right? If he had to switch gloves, that means he's down to one pair. Because there's only two pair of gloves approved. So when he was in the ring and the gloves popped, there were no backup pair. So if they had said, let's stop the fight, go get a backup pair, and then they said, they would have had to have told them there is no backup pair. So if there was, stop it. So if there was a backup pair, if there is no backup pair, Zenith 360, then Terence Crawford should have had the fight forfeit. He had a forfeit. If they knew, if the sanctioning body knew, if the Nevada State, if Nebraska knew that there was no second pair of gloves and he let him continue to fight, that fight should have been a forfeit because he didn't have any backup gloves. Period. Now, if they didn't know about it, and then Terence Crawford and those guys told a story to them and said, okay, we'll go and get it at the end of the round, then it's their negligence and not make them go get it that prevented them from finding it out. If Bud switched gloves after the Nevada State, the Nebraska Commission had already observed him put on the gloves, if they had observed him put on the gloves and he changed them, he should lose his belt off of that for changing his gloves without notifying anybody that he was rewrapping his gloves. Anyway it goes, the fact that he was on his second glove, yeah, he had two sets pop. His first pop, he wore his backup gloves into the ring. He wore his backup gloves into the ring. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think somebody's supposed to sign the gloves, and if he did it without, there was no. I can look at the picture again. I didn't see any signatures on that tape. So abysmal numbers on Black Planet for Z-Side Bud. Change the negotiations for the future of the Spence fight. I personally want Errol to move on, but is only viable in Dallas. No rematch clause for Duckford. Amen. It is what it is, bro. We'll see what goes down, bro. I would think they signed him, but I can look at the gloves again. It didn't look like there was any signatures on them. Hold on. Nah, there's no signatures on that. There's no signatures on that glove, bro. Oh, yeah, there is. There is a signature on that glove. Yeah, there is. So that means that they knew that there was no second pair. Yeah, it's right there. So they knew there was no second pair. They just lying. Hold on. I'll show you. No, they knew there was no second pair. Watch. Or Bernie's not telling the truth. One or the other. Maybe he's just lying. But watch, I'll show you. I don't know for sure what this means, but oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. There's something on that glove. Right here. Hold on. Yeah, you can see it on the tape right there. It's kind of fuzzy, but yeah, there's a big X right there on the gloves. And those are the gloves. Yeah, it's a big X right there. And here, yeah, it's right here too. Right there. There's a big X on the glove right there. And right here, you can see his glove disconnected. His glove is messed up right there. And there's signature right there. So they changed those gloves. So it seems like the Nevada State Athletic Commission, if Bernie's telling the truth, knew there was no second pair. Either that's a forged signature or they knew that there was no second pair. One or the other. Either Bernie's lying. There's three options. Bernie is not telling the truth. Watch, Zenith 360, Zenith, watch. If one glove pops, you got to replace both. If one glove pops, you have to replace both. Otherwise, you're left with one glove. Then there's no backup pair because both gloves popped. So if there was only, now watch, if one glove popped on the other ones, right? And then he takes one glove and he has the popped pair, that means now, right? 3 of the 4 gloves have popped. Right? Because you got the one that popped, right? They got the one that's popped that sit there, and you got 2 pop gloves on his hands. So say, for example, you say in your scenario, you're correct. And you say, well, they only changed 1 of the gloves. They didn't change 2 of the gloves, right? Well, then that means that there's only 3 non-defective gloves and 2 of them were on his hands. So that then those 2 go away. You only have 1 glove, which means they could not replace. They don't have a backup pair. They only got a backup 1. And both of Terence Crawford's gloves exploded. Not one, both. Doesn't matter. I appreciate that observation. However, it doesn't make a difference. It's a keen observation, though. But it doesn't make a difference. Because if one popped and say, okay, this popped, give me one of the backup. And then both of those pop, there's only one backup left. And you can't fight with one glove. You need a backup pair. So seeing as there's signature marks on it that looks like it's approved by the commission must have known either they forged it or the commission knew that the glove had been replaced. Any scenario. I mean, for real. Can you find any other scenario out there? I mean, I don't want to play Sherlock Holmes with you. For 9, my neighbor is a New York Athletic Commission in the dressing room and ring for every fight. I asked him exactly how his corner had an extra pair of gloves after. What? You watched the fight? What? Oh, you will ask him exactly how it works. Okay, that's fair. Why you keep saying there's no extra pair? Did you watch the fight? Because it's clear that his corner had an extra pair in the corner after the knockout. Is there 3 pair? Then what Bernie the Boxer is saying is wrong then. Then Bernie the Boxer's lying and it didn't pop. I already told you. Is there more than 2 pair? And it was not obvious. I didn't see obviously had. Did you see the extra pair in the corner? I didn't see the extra pair in the corner. Did anybody see an extra pair in the corner? I didn't see an extra pair in the corner. I saw the video. I didn't see an extra pair. But whatever the case is, if what Bernie the Boxer said is true and one of them popped, then he either got in there with a popped glove or he put on a new pair to put on the other pair. Okay, then maybe there was one of the defective ones in there, or they got 3 pairs. Or they got 3 pairs. Or they got 3 pairs. No, I thought they said they had to go to them and then Bud knocked dude out. Brother, only thing I ever heard, I saw an extra pair of mittens. Hey, bro, I'm going to tell you, if there was an extra pair there, and what Bernie said is true, that the gloves popped in the locker room. A glove popped in the locker room. And it is true that you only have 2 pairs of gloves. Is there 3 pairs of gloves? Because I'm going to tell you what they said. Did you read the complaint by David Avenetian? David Avenetian's corner said that they didn't think that the gloves, that they were wondering whether or not that pair had even been approved. Jeff Campbell said in the locker room. In the locker room what? The whole point is David has a case because as soon as they saw those gloves defective, they should have stopped it and made the change. Pretty much. I thought the commission washes 2, pick 1, so no one cheats. Look, the commission, all I'm telling you is this. If there is 2 pair of gloves and one of them popped, you do not have a backup pair. That's just simple math. That's just simple math, bro. He said the New York Commission, and he will ask. He didn't put anything on that. I don't know what you want me to say, bro. That looks kind of any way you go. I don't care if you saw him in the corner. Good. What did you see in the corner? Because if there's only 2 pair and Bernie's saying right 1 popped, then he either walked in with one of the gloves popped. So he walked in with defective gloves. Or he changed one of the gloves and the extra pair you saw in the corner is one of the gloves that were popped. Or the third alternative is what David Avenetian said, which is those fights were never approved. Those gloves were never approved. Because that's what he said. They said that we don't think, they want to know the chain of custody on the gloves. Did you guys read the complaint? They said that they wanted to know the chain of custody for the gloves. Because they doubted whether the gloves that he were fought in were the same gloves that were approved. And you have David, what's his name? Russ Abner, who looked at the gloves and said, look, man, those are old gloves. So there's another scenario in which the new gloves popped, and instead of going to the backup pair, Terence grabbed an old pair of gloves and put those on and decided to fight in a pair that was not approved. There's various scenarios here, all of which wind up having Terence, that fight overturned, and or Terence losing his belt. Any way you go. I'm telling you, this is what you call logic. This is what you call logic. Based off with the information that you have. Gloves that come out of the factory sealed in a bag get checked and marked for each fight. And what they said was that they did not believe that was the case. That's what they're asking. That's what the appeal that they filed. I'm telling you, I read the appeal. Their appeal said they did not just complain about the fact that they were defective gloves and they let them fight. They also complained about the chain of custody for the gloves and said that those gloves do not look like the gloves that were approved. They're saying they saw the gloves that were approved. They saw the gloves that were approved, and the gloves that they saw on Terence did not look like the gloves that they had approved. It is what it is, bro. I'm not making it up. I know y'all may want me to be making stuff up, but I didn't make it up. Hey, my man, much love to my man, John Bowie, in the building with the big love, with the big 10 and the Cash App, brother. Thank you, man. Always holding down the chat, bro. Always holding down the chat. Thank you, brother. And also, I got to get my guy yesterday, Paul Carrick, with that $5 holler in the Cash App. Thank you, brother, for that support, bro. I got you, John Boy. Thank you, brother. So, look, man, I'm telling you, any way it goes, that is funny business. Kid the Great said, for 9, they was going to run down to the Nebraska Academy Sports and Outdoors and get a new pair of problem solved. Hey, man, I'm just telling you what I see. I'm telling you what I heard. It is what it is, bro. Don't get mad at me, bro. Lamont Harris said, nah, you definitely making sense with the logic. Yeah, and for you to say that you saw the gloves in the corner, that's a big so what? There could be all kind of reasons why you saw a glove in the corner. You could have seen a glove in the corner because it had one of the defective gloves in there. And they just replaced one of the gloves and left the defective one in there. It could have been a chain of custody issue where they snuck in a second pair of gloves, right? Any type of scenario. However, in any way that you cut it, if one of those gloves popped in that locker room and there's only 4 approved gloves for him to fight in, any scenario, brother, any scenario, there was no backup gloves to go to. There, in any way you cut it, there are no backup gloves to go to. So if they would have stopped that fight and said, replace the gloves, they either would have had to put on more defective gloves, or there was no gloves, or there were no gloves to go to. Or there was a backup pair because they didn't go to the backup pair. They wore unapproved gloves into the ring. And if he wore unapproved gloves into the ring, you lose your belt. And that fight gets overturned. If there were no backup gloves, that fight should get overturned. It should get overturned regardless because you knocked him out with defective gloves. It should get overturned no matter what. No matter what, because you knew they were defective when you hit them. The Nebraska, the state of Nebraska, that commission knew those gloves were defective when he hit David Avenetian. David Avenetian knew that those gloves were defective when they hit him. So in any scenario, that fight should get overturned. Steve Smoker died? Oh, man, for real? Man, come on, bro. What is this? Hold on 1 second. Steve Smoker was, dog, I just saw him call a fight. Bro, it don't say anything about him die, bro. Are you sure Steve Smoker died, or are you talking about Mills Lane? Fanon, Bernie wasn't there. He was, man, stop, bro. What I said was, if what he said was true, if what he said was true, he could have found that out because he's on their team. He died, been sick for a while. All right, man. 10 count to Steve Smoker, man. I could have sworn I just saw Steve Smoker. I could have sworn I just saw Steve Smoker. I could have sworn I just saw him in a fight. Anyway, man, R.I.P. to Steve Smoker. R.I.P. to Steve Smoker, man. R.I.P. to Steve Smoker, man. Man, that's sad to hear. Everybody called Floyd a duck, but dang, Crawford must be the most scary guy this decade. Oh, God, it's funny. Oh, no, it's the duck of the century, bro. Easy. It's duck of the century, easy. Oh, man, R.I.P. to Steve Smoker, man. But look, man, I'm going to bounce up out of here, man. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Thank you guys so much for your support. Really does mean a lot, man. But I'm about to bounce up out of here. Enjoy your day. I do have some more videos coming up today, so make sure you guys check those out, man. Hit the like button, all that good old stuff that helps the channel grow. Shout out to pound for pound number asterisk fighter Bud Crawford. Bro, Errol, a middleweight who can't buy a KO at 147. He just knocked out somebody in his last fight. What are you talking about? He just knocked out somebody in his last fight, Edward Torres. You just pull stuff out your backside, huh? You just right out your backside. I could have sworn he just stopped Yordenis Ugas, bro. He didn't stop Yordenis Ugas? You sure he didn't stop Yordenis Ugas? I could have sworn that's a TKO. I could swear that's a TKO on his record. But you know what happens? When you don't fight tomato cans, you don't get knockouts, bro. Sometimes when you fight for championships against fighters that are legit top level fighters that belong in the ring with you, dude, whatever, leaky buns. See you later, brother. I'm not caring about your diarrhea, bro. Get out of my life, bro. Get out your life. That man got a bunch of knockouts at 147. As a matter of fact, let's see how many knockouts he has at 147. Yeah. I do believe this man has a lot of them. Hey, he's got 28 fights and 22 knockouts. Errol Spence Jr. has gone the distance 6 times. He has almost an 80% knockout ratio. TKO in his last fight. KO against Ocampo. Then he actually fought guys that are world champions. He fought 3 Hall of Fame level fighters in a row. Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia are all Hall of Fame level fighters, bro. Before that, KO, TKO, all the way back down to the bottom. With 1 unanimous decision against Emmanuel Lardy in an 8-round fight, bro. Edward Torres, I don't care what you say. You can shut up for the rest of this deal. You're in timeout, bro. Come back later. You said he couldn't buy it now. I don't care. So what? You said the man can't buy a knockout at welterweight, and he's got 22 knockouts. I mean, you want to go change the subject to a bunch of other garbage. Matter of fact, I gotta check you, Torres. Sorry, brother. You may be doing the Latino brothers wrong. Go to channel. Oh, nah. He's been here for a while. He's been okay. So you're not RuPaul. You just say stuff without thinking about it. You just say stuff without thinking about it. But anyway, with that, I got to get up out of here, man. Much love. Deuces.